Hello, everyone, and welcome to Culture of Gaming's Power Up Podcast, episode 106. I'm your host, Taylor, and I apologize for... Yeah, it's 106.
It is, yes. I think I
Yes.
tweeted the wrong thing there.
It's
But whatever.
palindrome, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wait, palindrome? What?
It's a palindrome. I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay. I was like... Oh, okay, anyway, I'm your host, Taylor, and I would like to apologize for the lateness. We had a little bit of a casting issue, but that's been resolved, and so now we're here, we're on air, we're recording. Life is Daijobu. Anyway, I'm, of course, joined by Anthony. How are you?
Doing pretty well, I'd say. Got a bit of a headache this morning, but suffering through, I guess. I got to listen to you lot for the next 2 hours, so that'll be torture.
Wow,
I
roasted.
got to throw an insult out straight away. I'm doing quite well, eh? I've been playing some Apex as of late, streaming a bit of that, and streaming some Minecraft as well. I got another win on Apex last night. Kind of got carried a little bit, but I want to say I did get like 4 kills, so I'm happy with myself. Also been playing some Minecraft. I jumped into RL Craft, which is, if you don't know what that is, it's like a heavily modded Minecraft where everything is realistic. So you get attacked by absolutely everything.
Yeah.
You can starve to death. You can die of thirst. You can die of heat stroke. You can die of hypothermia. If you don't sleep, you also die.
Don't you usually play games like Escape from real life?
I mean, true.
Okay.
That's true.
So why do you want to simulate it?
True. Because it's, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
It's torture.
No, I've seen some of the stuff you posted from it.
I've also got like a texture pack as well. So that sucks up quite a bit of juice when I'm trying to use that. So streaming is a little difficult, but I've kind of worked around it.
Nice.
And yeah, so the first stream I did of that, it took me like 2 hours even to spawn in a right area, because you can't build a house in this mode. You can build a house, but it's extremely difficult. So you're better off spawning like near a town or somewhere like that. So yeah, that's been interesting. And aside from that, I haven't really been playing too much else. Not much else has really been released at all. So kind of been running through some like older games and older titles, and yeah, that's kind of it for me for this week, I'd say.
Yeah, no, just like real life, spawning in a town has its advantages as opposed to like the middle of a forest somewhere.
Definitely.
All right. Anyway, Andrew, hello, sir. What have you been up to?
What have I been up to? I don't know. Not much in terms of new games. Still shooting stuff in Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, which is really good. Feeling good about that game right now. I'm like killing a lot. This sounds bad. My KDR is higher than it has been in a while, so I'm like feeling myself really good.
Nice.
And then it's still just kind of dinking and dunking at like Yakuza 6, which is a very good game. I think I'm like about halfway through, it seems like. I think I looked at the chapters, I'm like halfway-ish.
Okay.
That game's really fun. I'm really enjoying that game. It's like the perfect, like, there's this huge story, but I'm like, sometimes I don't care. Like, they're talking all this like politics, but I'm like, and then I'm just bashing a dude's face in with like chopsticks or something. It's just so good. I love it.
It's great. That's the peak of gaming.
It's
truly.
If I played that game in 2018, it would have been top 5 probably for me. Like, the game is, and that was a good year for games too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. That game is so good. But yeah, not much anything unfortunately.
All right, and let's see, Mike, you're here also. Welcome back, frequent guest on the podcast. What have you been up to?
Not too much. Literally got a call like about 10-15 minutes ago while I was at the 7-Eleven picking up some drinks for myself when I suddenly got the call. So I had to dart all the way back here and quickly get everything set up as quick as possible to be here. But
which we appreciate. Thank you.
As for games which I've been playing, it's been kind of mixed around. This week I actually did have the opportunity to review a nice little PC game called Project Ether First Contact. Go ahead and check it out on the site, of course, if you just wanted quick impressions of it. I mean, nothing to write home about, but if you are a fan of the twin-stick shooter genre, it is actually a pretty good game, and I would recommend it.
Okay.
As for other games, still enjoying my Monster Hunter game, and kind of for like what was said previously, I too am enjoying a Yakuza game, because Yakuza 0 recently joined the Xbox Game Pass, so
Yeah,
I'm
that's right.
having that to enjoy myself right now. So
It's a very good one. That was
Very
my first Yakuza, and it is splendid.
Nice.
yeah,
Okay.
unfortunately, my first Yakuza wasn't technically Yakuza since it was the Fist of the North Star spin-off.
Oh,
But yeah, no, this won't be my first actual dive into the Yakuza series. So,
good.
high expectations. Hope that it's good so that I can go ahead and enjoy the rest of the Yakuzas when they hit the Xbox One
It's
later.
Okay.
Majima is just so good in that game. I can't get over how good this game's are. It was fantastic.
It is just
I'm looking
Fun
forward
series.
to it.
I wish I
I
could
love
play it
the
again for the
series.
first time. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yep, I'll be happy to give you my impressions later on for it for sure.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. Well, I apparently have had a really busy week. Is what is like, before the show started, I was like, man, I really haven't done much this week in terms of gaming, have I? Oh wait, I kind of have. So I guess to kick things off, is like, played this game called Corruption 2029. Wrote a review up for it that went up the other day. Go check it out. It's like a top-down strategy game, kind of like XCOM and everything. And overall, it got like a 7 out of 10. So go read the review. Okay, so
I will.
There are a lot of decent ideas. The gaming hub went live on Mitzer. Thanks. Apologies for the Windows sound. Is there a way to turn that off? I wonder.
Yes, there is.
How?
Very easily too.
Where?
I don't know. Google it.
Okay. Hold on. I just figured it
Okay.
out. We're good.
If you've played Mutant Year Zero, this is made by the same people as that,
Oh.
which was a very, very good game. And this one seems like a little less decent, but hopefully like they'll fix it up with some expansions and
Did you
whatever.
play Mutant Zero?
No, I never did.
So
I was tempted.
so I played a little bit of it. Mutant Zero, like you got to move around a lot, but like you kind of, it was not like XCOM where you I don't think you landed in a spot and then the combat just started right away. Is that how this works? Like you kind of take a ship down to a certain area, or
No, so it's like you land in a certain spot. You can use like WASD to move around the level
Okay.
a bit, and then whenever you go into combat, it turns into like that XCOM style turn-based
Okay.
combat sort of thing.
Turn-based, yeah,
And
sure.
then
Yeah, so-
and then it's like once you're out of it, it goes back to WASD. I actually
Okay,
praised
yeah.
that part because it really speeds things up quite a bit.
Mhm.
So
Sure.
Yeah, I think that is similar to their other game where you're kind of moving around like a I don't know if it's a hub area or not, but
Yeah.
kind of move around
It
this
was
area.
kind of like an open area hub.
Yeah.
area. I played it a little bit myself. I didn't get too far into it, but yeah, it definitely did sound like Year Zero though.
okay.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Is this on Game Pass?
It's on an Epic Game Store.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, I
unfortunately.
mean, it was also on the Game Pass, or at least I don't know if it's still on the Game Pass, but I know I checked it out when it was on the Game Pass.
Corruption. We're 2029.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
It's only out for PC at the moment, but it is coming to consoles, I believe.
Okay.
Similar to Year Zero as well. I think that came out on PC first, and then they chucked it on consoles.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's on the superior PC platform, Epic Games.
Oh God.
Wink, wink,
FR.
nudge, nudge.
FR. Okay.
Intense.
And then
Also
got a Minecraft server back set up for everything. Just kind of repaired like in the state of disarray that were my friends and I's Minecraft files and server files and everything. So repaired that, got that going, up and going again. That's been fun. Playing a little bit of that. And then I guess speaking of the website itself, worked on a new look for it quite a bit. So yeah, that got pushed live without telling Anthony too.
I love it.
Yeah.
I wake up and I'm like, who the hell updated the site?
It was I. Yeah. So yeah, and then we're currently in the process of working on partnering with a new ad partner. So look for that. Hopefully,
Yeah, a lot of fun, big changes coming to the site for sure. We've been making a really big push as of late for stuff, so that's starting to get rather exciting to see how that's going to play out.
Yeah, so the goal with this ad partner is like, obviously you go to a gaming website, you're into gaming, right? We get that you don't really like to see ads, but you gotta keep the lights on somehow, right? So you might as well just see gaming ads, right? At least it's topically relevant to what you're interested
Fair
in,
enough.
which I think is like better than just seeing like ads for like, I don't know, like pizza or a vacuum cleaner on the side of a gaming website, So, well, actually pizza isn't so bad, I guess, because
Don't
sometimes you
underestimate a
get
good
hungry.
vacuum cleaner.
Okay.
I bought a middle tier vacuum cleaner, and now I'm wishing I sprung for the expensive one because
Look, you just gotta get a shark.
You get like a nice Dyson or something?
I wish I did. I got like a step down. I was like, okay, I don't need the expensive one. The middle one might be okay.
Okay.
Doesn't pick up that well. So
No?
now I'm
Okay.
mad. I should have spent the extra $100 and just
Does
got
it
the
no good suck?
culture.
No good suck.
Culture of vacuum cleaners, everybody.
Yeah.
But the Shark Navigator is really good. We can't get them here anymore because I don't know. Australia sucks as usual. But we got one of the last ones in the country, and it's like really, really good.
Dude,
it goes forever.
When
I like,
such good suction.
Like there's just a fable about you, like, oh man, yeah, they were the last one. As you walk by the store, like those are the guys with the shark vacuum. Last one.
When I first started, it would be more like Sword of the Rings, where you have everyone just trying to raid some guy's house just to steal their said vacuum cleaner.
Yeah. And when I first started living on my own, I inherited like 3 or 4 semi-broken vacuum cleaners from like my parents that I brought with me. None of them worked, so eventually I just bought like my own vacuum cleaner, and it's like I think I paid like $90 for it, and it worked surprisingly. It was like a Dyson one.
What you do is you like tear all of them down and build your own out of the dead
parts.
Carcasses of the vacuum cleaner.
Okay. All right. Well, back to gaming. Also, I played a little bit of Sekiro. And because I played a little bit of Sekiro, right? Streamed a little bit of this game. That's on Steam. And we have a review up for it on the site. Although I didn't write it. Nicholas Mavlesky did, and it's called The World of Horrors, and it's like a mix of Lovecraft and Ichoji horror. And it's really cool. It's like stylized, kind of like an old like 80s, 90s computer video game. So if you ever played Return of the Obra Dinn, it's kind of like that art style that it goes for. And so
1D, I think they call it, don't they?
Huh?
1D or something?
Yeah, 1D. Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of cool little homage, 80s Japan themed like horror game. Played through like the first little tutorial scenario, although it's not much of a tutorial and everything. And I tried like 5 or 6 times before finally cracking it on stream, so that was pretty fun. Yeah, maybe I'll stream it some more. I'm not sure. I have played a little bit of it on my own, also off of stream, and it's like it really doesn't tell you the things that are kind of needed to know, just so you kind of know going in. So it's like not saying that it's like I necessarily wanted to hold my hand, but it's more of like I would kind of like to have an explanation as to what this setting does, because I may not know what it does when like doing a playthrough or whatever, or
And is it like a JRPG, like you're walking around like an open area, or? Not
really. It's like so I guess I'll just try to walk through kind of the scenario that I did. It was like I'm in a classroom or whatever. I'm given a brief premise of what's going on and everything. Basically, there's like this scissor demon or whatever, and I need to go around a school and collect holy candles and like chalk to draw a sigil on the chalkboard to perform a ritual to like kill the scissor demon. No, I'm serious.
It sounds gnarly. Like, it sounds genuinely terrifying.
No, it was actually, I was digging everything about it. Like, the horror aspect of it, it was really, really good.
But the screenshots are scary. Like,
yeah. Yeah, some of the stuff is pretty freaky. And so, it's just like, you give a button, it's like you start off in this classroom, right? You have a button, it's like, go explore the school, a little transition scene happens. And then I'm pretty sure it's RNG where you end up next or whatever. And so, it's like, oh, I made it to this room. Oh, the holy candles happen to be in this room. Sweet, whatever. And it's like, then I'm returned back to the classroom, hit the button again to explore, like, the school or whatever. And it's like the transition thing happens. Oh, I suddenly encountered a classmate who's trying to stab me. So, then the battle sequence goes on with them. You may or may not do anything.
Kind of like Phoenix Wright a bit, but without the stabby.
Yes.
I mean, they're still technically murders, but
yeah.
True.
Yeah, the one consistency I was able to get is you're able to go to the lockers, like the scroll lockers, as its own discrete button, like go there immediately. And I was able to get like a baseball bat, which is a really good weapon that I was able to like get and just kind of use that all through. So yeah, it took a little bit to get the hang of, but finally got it. And also, speaking of Sekiro too, it was just like I've been thinking about setting up like doing an ultra hard playthrough on stream and everything. So what that would be is you give Kuro his charm back to him at the beginning of the game, and what that does is like I think you take health damage every time you deflect also. And then there's also the demon bell that you can ring like maybe a quarter of the way through the game or so, and that increases the difficulty of enemies also. And then maybe if I want to go like a little bit like hardcore, there's a mod that lets you tweak like enemy damage and whatnot. So just trying to go from there. Anyway, and then other than that, just been playing Modern Warfare on the Damascus Steel grind. I will say that. Yeah.
Wait, what is that? I don't even know what that is.
Okay, so Damascus Steel is a camo you get for everything. if you unlock every other camo.
Oh, that sounds
like
an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
You have to unlock all the camos for the challenges and stuff, or just the camos like on each gun?
The camos on each gun.
Okay.
And like equipment too. So like the riot shield.
Sounds like sub-acceptable torture to me.
The knife. Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot, dude.
Yeah, the launchers.
Some people like to play the completion game. I know I do sometimes.
I mean, I like getting stuff, but I don't know, man. That's a lot of time me spending with a gun I'm gonna absolutely not have fun with.
It is, yeah.
And like I've kind of done that a little bit already to try and unlock like a crossbow.
Yeah.
Or like the dual pistols.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Man, that sounds like too much.
I started with the assault rifle category.
Yeah,
I've started with the assault rifle category, and it hasn't been bad so far. So it's like I know the assault rifles. The most challenging thing about them is like their numbers are higher than all the others or whatever. So it's like in the assault rifles, it's like one of the challenges might be to get like 160 long shot kills or whatever, right? Other guns, it's like 80 or whatever. So it's like, yeah.
I was like looking at like just like getting the reticles. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, use a certain scope. I'm like, but what? That's not even the reticle for this scope that I want. Like, I was just like, okay.
Okay, whatever. I haven't even bothered with the reticles, honestly, because of that.
I haven't. I mean, I just kind of was dinking around, and I was like, oh, I can change stuff. That's kind of cool. But then it's like insane.
Yeah, and yeah, so it's like I think the biggest challenge I'm having is, or with assault rifles right now, is the one that I'm actually on right now is the FAL. That thing is like a wet noodle hitting people.
Shot one?
Yeah.
It's
bad. Like, yeah, it's pretty bad. So it's like I'm almost done with it though. Like if I play for an hour after the podcast, I'll probably get it gold. Yeah. So that'll be.
I got the new assault rifle that's on the
the Growl, the 5.56.
Yeah, Growl, the 5.56. That gun is rips, dude. That gun is so good.
Yeah, that's not needed for the Damascus challenge. It's all the base guns. So
that's unfortunate because that gun's fun to use.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't used it yet because I've been busy doing.
Yeah. Gun's good. Very good.
The game is fun. It's starting to have its issues though. I think they've neglected a lot of parts of it because they've been working on the battle royale. So hopefully that gets finished and released finally. Yeah.
I wanted to bring this up because speaking of Sekiro, Neo 2 has a trial going on right now, which is like a Souls-ish like game.
Oh, okay.
So if you wanted to download it on PS4, you can go ahead and download that for free, obviously. And it's probably like a scenario or two. But I played a little bit of it like a while back, like last year. It's really cool. I would recommend it. It's pretty action-based. It's like a lot of like, if you haven't played the first one, it's like this thing called, I think it's called a key burst. Basically, you use your stamina. Okay. And then if you like time like the trigger correctly or like the R1 button correctly, you can like burst. And like you'll gain all that stamina back like really fast.
Oh, okay.
You can kind of like chain attacks. And I don't know if the stances are turned, but there's like high stance, medium stance, low stance, and it just opened up combat like crazy. Like you're getting so much different. Like you could like burst into a different stance, and it's really wild. So if you're looking for more complex like I guess what's fighting? Not fighting.
Hack and slash?
Yeah, no, it's not hack and slash, but it's like more combat, thank you. More complex combat instead of just like hit roll or parry.
Sure.
It's pretty neat. So I definitely recommend if you have a PS4.
Or roll for 10 minutes solid.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, hell yeah.
And hitting someone's butt for 5 minutes. 10 minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's still a lot of butt hitting in this game, but yeah, you can get away with a little more.
Okay.
Sure.
All right, yeah, no, I'll have to check it out then. Okay. All right, so yeah, I think that'll do it for the intro sequence here. So getting the housekeeping out of the way, the main site is, of course, cultureofgaming.com. There you can find the latest gaming news, reviews, opinion pieces, etc., etc. We're making a big push, as aforementioned earlier, so hopefully you guys can notice the uptick in content and everything, and hopefully you guys still continue to like the content. And yeah, we have a community Discord, a link to which you can find on the right-hand side sidebar of the main site. You have to scroll down a little bit to find it, but it is still there. Invite, and you can chat with everyone you see on the podcast, plus pretty much every staff member as well. So yeah, hit us up over on the community Discord, super duper active over there. And then we have 2 Facebook pages, one for the main site and one for the podcast. The one for the main site is facebook.com/the Trod Network and facebook.com/Power Up Podcast. Those 2 Facebook pages. And then Twitter @the Trod Network, Instagram @Culture of Gaming, YouTube.com/Culture of Gaming, and Mixer.com/Culture_of_Gaming, where live streams like myself, Anthony, and Matt right now put on, as well as the podcast, recorded every Saturday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then furthermore, if you'd like to hear past recordings of the podcast, or maybe you missed a week or whatever, you can pretty much find the podcast on whatever podcast service exists out there. We're talking Pocket Casts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, etc., etc. So,
you can also find it on the site. If you go to the site's homepage, you've got a little banner thing you can just click on play, and it plays the latest MP3 episode of the MP3 file of the episode, I should say.
So the latest audio.
Episode, correct.
Yeah, player is built in right into the site. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So getting right into the gaming news, let's talk about money and profits. Okay. And microtransactions. And microtransactions, maybe not our favorite thing, right? This report is coming out from Gama Sutra. And the headline is, mobile is now Activision Blizzard's leading platform for revenue. Mobile now eclipses PC and console in terms of revenue for Activision Blizzard, a category that includes revenues from its mobile-heavy King segment, as well as contributions from recent launches across other brands like Call of Duty Mobile. Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick highlighted the shift in the company's latest investor call, noting as well that mobile has helped boost the audience for some of Activision Blizzard's core franchises like Call of Duty, and will do so for properties down the line. He said, quote, using Call of Duty as an example, with the introduction of Call of Duty Mobile, we grew our player base from 40 million to 100 million players in less than a year, said Kotick. We expect significant growth in the Call of Duty franchise in 2020 as compared to 2019 as a result of this and from other unannounced Call of Duty initiatives. Activision Blizzard reported $2.2 billion in mobile revenue during the year ending December 31st, 2019, 34% of its total revenue for that period. During the same span of time, console accounted for $1.92 billion and PC for $1.72 billion. During the previous year, console revenue led the pack with 34%, with mobile representing 29%. Okay, so this headline is a little bit disingenuous because... So it's like, if individually taken, mobile is outpacing either console or PC, but combined console and PC still hasn't been eclipsed by mobile yet. And then he goes on to say how Call of Duty Mobile is free to play, which allows them to make a lot of money. So yeah.
Oh my goodness, not this again.
The future is free to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, the future is free to play.
I mean, the now is free to play, right?
True.
You get the biggest games in the world being free to play, and look at they probably bring in. I don't know what the numbers are.
Fortnite's still going gangbusters, right?
Yeah, most likely. Yeah. I actually I re-downloaded that game the other day.
It's still bad.
I watched.
Was it ever good?
Stream, and I didn't play any yet, but there's either a million bots playing that game.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
Children who don't know how to hold a controller that are playing that
Probably
game.
children.
Probably don't be surprised about the latter.
It's skill-based matchmaking. So even
in Fortnite,
so
really?
Yeah. So if you have, there's this one guy that I watched who's a YouTuber. He played like 4 really good games, okay,
Sure.
and won like 2 of them. He went and had a really bad game, and then for the next 4 games, he's up against bots the whole time for 4 games because it just steps you back depending on how bad your game is. So it's a broken skill-based matchmaking system.
Man, I encounter that whole thing all the time in Modern Warfare. I will say that's super annoying, but...
So I mean to say that if I was to go ahead and play Fortnite right now for my very first time, chances are I'm just going to be tossed up against like a whole lot of bots just to make me feel better if I somehow just beat them all.
Yeah.
So
well, that's a lovely manipulation.
Well, I'd say...
The first game that you play in the season is up against bots. So if you're a brand new Fortnite player and you jump into Chapter 2, whatever it is, you're up against bots every single time.
Amazing.
For your first game.
Wow, that's... I don't know how to react to that.
I don't know why. but whatever.
I'm gonna be real with you, Chief. I don't know how to react to that.
They did that in PUBG Mobile as well.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's
Just
common in free to play.
Yeah, I
I
kind
mean,
of
I
get it
guess
with
I could
mobile
understand.
games.
I guess I could understand maybe that if you don't want to have your person who's playing the game for the first time suddenly get shot in the face like 5 seconds into the new match, I guess, or something.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't
It's
know.
Well, there's not a single player to like figure it out. I guess that makes sense.
Right.
Well, there is a single player. It's just called Save the World.
It doesn't exist.
which is like $40.
No one cares about Save the World though.
No.
Yeah.
It's so funny when you watch like Doctor Disrespect play. He absolutely hates with a passion,
Don't blame him.
and it's like every Friday or something, he has like this challenge thing where you get a win in Fortnite, Apex, Call of Duty, PUBG, blah blah blah. And every time on his stream, he's like, after he's finished with Fortnite, uninstall straight away. And he's always like, get this crap off my PC. I don't care for it. It's a kid's game. And he's like screaming flat out.
That sounds like him. That sounds like him.
That's brilliant.
Character.
That's
Pretty good.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. You gotta respect the hustle though, right? I mean, Fortnite is making boatloads of revenue. And I mean, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, recently they were saying how they were apparently losing money, but Epic took offense to that or something like that. But
Yeah.
I don't think we put that down as a part of our talking points, though.
No, this is kind of a kind of cut and dry article. I just want it because this was easy to lead into the conversation at the end about like microtransactions that we have every so often, whatnot. So I put it in as a leading topic. Full transparency here. It's like I don't know. There is something to be said about the whole free to play model and everything. It's like it makes a lot. It definitely makes a lot more money than I think having the barrier for entry stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like free to play games make more money than paid games.
Yeah.
Like off the bat.
If
Yeah.
they're good
Because-
enough.
Yeah, if they're good enough, right? Yeah.
You know.
Well, I
do
mean,
something
technically,
well.
I could go ahead and understand that for the Call of Duty because is Call of Duty mobile free to play? I guess
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, then in that case, that would make total sense because if you put the Call of Duty experience on mobile and if it actually does run as good as I guess it is, then yeah,
It's
you know,
decent.
people will go ahead and play it.
Yeah,
People
it's
will throw
decent.
money at it, and can't really get that upset. I'm sure you can still get upset by the microtransactions on display, but
Yeah.
at least there's not a $60 buy-in to be able to then keep tossing money at the game, so to speak. So
Yeah.
but it kind of seems funny how it seems like the free-to-play, like you said, that the free-to-play is apparently earning more money than the $60 buy-in games. So
I mean, you have an opportunity to spend more than $60 though, right?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
yep.
You can spend $100
Yeah.
off the bat. And,
Yeah, but I guess the other thing too is that technically, unless if Activision is Activision on this one, it's not like we're going to be seeing Call of Duty Black Ops mobile or Call of
we might.
War 2 mobile, or I mean, yeah, we could, and if
Right.
that happens, then that's going to be a whole other storm altogether that people are going to be rather upset about. But
Yeah.
until then, maybe that this could just be the format that it'll be like most other games. Where it's like once the game's out there, that's it. Then they'll keep updating the game, but it's not like they're going to expect you to, keep buying the newest one unless if for
We
reasons
might
that they
even
need to update it. Which games need to evolve over time. So if there's like another game in like 2, 3, or 5 years or so, then okay, that's understandable. But not make it a yearly release like the actual console games.
Yeah.
we might even see games from like PS2, like the old Call of Duties, get ported to mobile. That'd be kind of cool, to be honest.
That would be. Yeah. Have like Call of Duty 2 on the phone or
Yeah,
whatever.
I guess I can't really get too upset
COD
if that
3.
was to happen. That would be
Yeah. Phones are more than powerful enough now, so it would work.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I remember it's just like. Roughly $110 was like the cap you could pull out of a game, right? Because that was 60 MSRP and then 50 like season pass, right? Guarantee you the next year's worth of content. If you got people that bought the DLC packs like piecemeal or whatever, you can maybe get 160 out of them, or not 160, 120 rather, because it'd be 15, 30, 45, 60. Assuming like. That was like the COD formula, that was like the Battlefield formula and everything, right? And now it's just like, as the point was brought up, it's like you have the opportunity to spend a lot more than $110 on these games, and it's just a lot more of a slow trickle over time as opposed to all up front, right?
Right.
yeah.
Hmm.
Well, I mean,
like-
it also. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
The cheaper, like, skins and all that all that type of stuff is, the more people are going to want to buy it.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, like Apex compared to Fortnite is a good example. like with Apex, you got to spend like $20 on a skin, whereas with Fortnite, it's like $5 or something.
Yeah, make the power of the impulse purchase, right?
Yeah, and people are like, oh, it's only $5, and if they get them 5 times, like in 3 months or something, there's however much, even if it's more than $5 or whatever, that's the whole power of the impulse buy. It's like the $10 subscription model, like Netflix, Amazon. You got all them rack up at the end of the day.
Let's say those things add up, right?
Yeah, exactly. At the end of the day, you're up for like $150 a month or whatever.
Yeah.
It's crap.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's that, and then there's also the newest trends in the gaming that we've been seeing as of late. Because loot boxes may be on the way out, but battle passes is kind of in that weird gray area where it's like, I don't really think that many people complain about battle passes nowadays, because it's like,
I don't mind them, no.
Not really, no.
Because you have your stuff that people earn for free, and then if you want to have some more, then if you could just pay the 10, 20 or whatever, play through the season, get some stuff, and it's like, people see some value in the battle passes. So we're kind of in that weird situation now where it seems like as we get ready to move into the decade even further,
do you think games like let's talk about Modern Warfare as a prime example, right? Kind of overindulge a little bit for charging $60 for the game, and then between $10 to $20 of the battle pass, depending on which one you get, and also like have additional like purchases also, like cosmetic packs also. Do you think that's a little bit overindulgent, or do you think that's like a decent mix? Because ultimately it doesn't really affect gameplay, right? It's just kind of like cosmetic.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, technically speaking, I kind of think that at this point, Activision would want to start selling the game at a slightly lower cost, just for the sake of being able to get that many more people in to go to spend money in the game. Because, we're kind of at that point now where it seems like most people aren't really worried about selling the game as it is getting people to keep buying stuff in the game for an extended period of time.
So do you think like once after like physical media as a distribution kind of goes by the wayside, as it eventually will probably, right?
It's a possibility.
Yeah. Do you think it's like might realistically see like AAA games come out as like $40 on release?
I don't think they'll drop the price on release. If anything, it's gonna go up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, 50 or 60. I think that would probably
be so long.
But the other thing also is that with the aforementioned Xbox Game Pass, that when you have the games that are coming out, at $60 at full, or otherwise getting people to buy into the Game Pass, and then they get to play the games day one.
Yeah.
It's like technically speaking, Microsoft could have a simple means of lowering the prices at least for their games for a slightly better cost, so to speak. I mean, who knows what's going to happen, of course, but it would be nice to go ahead and decrease the cost if apparently you're earning all your money through the microtransactions.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a drug addiction. You got to go ahead and get someone to buy the first thing for free so that they'll go to spend like 3
little
times
gateway
as much
drug, right? Gateway drug, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's what people describe loot boxes, right?
Yeah.
Loot boxes are the gambling. It's like drugs. People can't control themselves.
Yeah.
First one is free. Come on. Do it.
I bought a waifu level character in one of my gacha level games. I couldn't eat the next day.
What?
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Okay.
It's like that old joke where it's like I bought the Fortnite teddy bear skin and couldn't eat the next day because it's like $20 anyway.
I feel like what games may do is prices may go up, but I feel like games are going to be supported more, like through the long term.
Okay.
So a good example of that is like Apex, Fortnite. Fortnite's how old's Fortnite? Like 5 years old now.
Depends on when you track its release.
It's still in early access, so who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, we might see, Call of Duty jump back, to every 2 years instead of every 1 year, and then in like 10 years' time, every 3 years, because they can, push out a battle royale mode and this, that, and everything else. So I kind of feel like they're going to charge more for a game, but like give it more content, if that makes sense.
Sure.
And like,
well, I mean, it's a possibility, but then you have games like the yearly releases, like the Call of Duties and your Maddens and your FIFAs, and it's like, I mean, yeah, that would be nice if they just switched to a bi-yearly release, but at the same time, though, they're not going to because money.
Right.
I mean, look at Assassin's Creed, though. Like
Money.
Assassin's Creed.
Oh no, Assassin's Creed is a good example of or I mean, I don't know if you want to say good example, because I would at least defend it myself, at least as far as Assassin's Creed goes. Other games by Ubisoft, that's a much more harder thing to defend, and I'm not going to. But for Assassin's Creed, I could at least say that I did enjoy the game, and yeah, they had the options, but I still played through it all and still enjoyed myself without spending a dime. But you know, other games don't, like the other Tom Clancy game that everyone loves, the breaking of the points, if you will. Yeah, people certainly love that one, right?
Right.
That they love their loots, shooters, and their broken game and everything getting rushed out and being able to buy all your upgrades at one time if you wanted to. Yeah, no, of course not.
I'm just saying that with Assassin's Creed, you know, they pushed that from a yearly release back to a two-yearly release. I think might even be 3 yearly at this point. So and they're making.
I mean, we'll see if they announce one this year.
They're making more money off the Assassin's Creed franchise than what they were with a yearly release. So it's, if you do it right, if you do your model right and your season passes and all that right, then you can, at the end of the day, you probably make more money than anything else.
Yeah, but it's also the idea of trying to figure out how that's going to happen for the single player games, because multiplayer games, you know, you could easily support those, you know, for multiple years. We could easily name a game off the top of our heads that's now Fortnite if we want to, but you know, at the same time though, it's like you're not going to be seeing Star Wars Fallen Order get a multi-year support, as nice as that would be. We're not going to see, you know, any Nintendo games for that matter for a single player, because, you know, I would have thought that Mario Odyssey would have gotten an expansion pass, but sadly it didn't. But, you know, it's kind of hard to say what the future is going to hold, but, you know, at the same time, though, it's kind of hard to say if it's going to be trying to adapt with the times or stay the old school, so to speak.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Anything else to hit, I guess? Oh, yeah, do y'all reckon that Modern Warfare's Battle Royale will be free?
No.
Rumors, actually,
Or free to play? Yeah.
If Fallout 76 was going to charge for their Battle Royale, I would imagine that Activision's not going to even give that a second thought either.
Okay.
They could.
I mean, if they do, that'll be a nice surprise, but yeah, I'm not holding my breath on that, unfortunately.
I mean, in the sense of, so it's like, I expect it for people that already own the game won't have to pay anything for it, but I mean, someone who doesn't own the game will be able to play the Battle Royale. That's what I mean. I should clarify.
Just Battle Royale.
Yeah, just Battle Royale.
So like paying for the mode, but not paying for the game.
No, I mean, just like straight up no cost to the mode.
Oh, okay.
But let people in there.
Battle Royale.
Yeah, let people in there, you know, buy like cosmetics and whatnot.
Like you would launch it and it would give you that like screen where it's like single player campaign or whatever, but you could only click Battle Royale, and if you try to click there, it's like, oh, buy the game.
Yeah.
Did Blackout do that?
Blackout, what it did is it separated zombies away from it, so you could buy the multiplayer and the blackout mode separate from zombies.
Sure.
Oh, that's right.
It was,
There was no
pretty
campaign.
cheap.
There was no campaign.
There was no campaign, yeah. So if you didn't care about zombies, or you didn't care about the multiplayer or whatever you want to call it, you could buy.
But the game was
either
still
one.
at the full cost, though, right?
No, it was $30 a piece or something like that.
Oh, okay, so it was lower. Okay.
Yeah, you could buy half of the game and pay about half price or whatever it was.
Okay, and at that standpoint, that's a bit more understandable, so to speak. So, okay.
I feel like even if they did separate Battle Royale, you'd still have to pay something for it, I reckon.
It's possible. I don't know. They maybe just
In my
want to increase
opinion.
the player base. Like a good way of like increasing the player base is so that everyone's enjoying the game. Is hey, everyone can play the Battle Royale for free. Doesn't matter who you are, and then I'm sure they'll get you with the battle passes that they have or.
Yeah, that would be nice, but again, that it's, you know, trying to turn a profit by any means necessary. So, and in that standpoint, that's the reason why I kind of hesitate on thinking that Activision would make the mode for free.
Well, it is like the core principle the core principle behind why we see these stories behind like, oh, these free to play games are just like making like buckets of cash in terms of revenue and everything, right? Yeah, or making absolute stonks is because there's no barrier to entry, right?
Yeah.
So it's like,
Well, right, and now you think about it, like Call of Duty Modern Warfare, they probably people who wanted that game bought that game by now.
Yeah.
People who want to play for the multiplayer, for the co-op, for the campaign have purchased that game because that game.
I haven't, but I want to play it.
I mean,
you bought a Switch instead.
Right?
You bought a Switch instead.
So like, you're not gonna get that many people jumping on this Call of Duty for the first time. Oh, they had the Battle Royale, now I'll buy it. It's
Right.
like, no, like it's kind of a sweeten the pot deal.
Yeah.
So like it coming out for free, if it does, would be very smart on their part.
Okay.
Maybe they'll keep that mode more than just the 6 months that Call of Duty has left.
Right. Yeah, I'm
So-
seriously hoping we don't get a new COD this year. It's just I think Modern Warfare has like 2 years worth of life left in it.
It feels that way.
Well,
feels
it's always like that. That was the reason why a lot of people got upset about the Sony special exclusive mode up until October or whatever it was going to be, because a lot of people are like, oh, okay, well, it's nice to know that this mode's finally unlocked. Well, I guess it's time for the next Call of Duty.
Right.
Whereas if it was going to be coming out, in another year from now, and it's like, okay, well, I mean, who cares? Because we're still all going to have the same game after a whole year still, so.
Yeah, I don't know. Especially if the next COD is Black Ops 5, I'll still probably be playing Modern Warfare. That'd be real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Black Ops 4 was like, oh, I can't wait for the new Call of Duty.
Right. Yeah.
Right now it's like, this is a good one.
Yeah.
Keep making this one better.
Please improve this one.
Exactly.
Let's make this really good, right? Yeah, I do. It's like I don't know how much I'll play the Modern Warfare Battle Royale, but it's like all I hope is that this comes with the rumored like server transfer. I guess Activision will be going with like a different server provider. So Battle Royale would be a good time to do that, right? And the servers go beyond 20 tick, because with the low time to kill in that game, it really
really sucks.
has a couple issues.
Sometimes you're on the other end. You're on the good side of that.
Yeah. And then other times it kind of screws you. A lot of people have been having trouble lately, myself included, of like connecting to the wrong data center for stuff and everything. Like I got put on the Japanese data center earlier this morning.
I haven't noticed it.
So according to a poll that I asked on Twitter a while back, would you be interested in seeing a Battle Royale mode in Modern Warfare? 74% of people want it.
Yeah.
And 25% don't want it.
Okay.
So I feel like a majority probably will play it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I really want to pick up Modern Warfare, but I haven't yet. I'm waiting for it to get on like Humble Bundle.
I doubt it ever will.
I mean, if they keep innovating the Battle Royale mode, that people will still be coming to it. But I'm starting to wonder if there's. Well, I mean, I'm sure I asked this question previously, but I'm sure we will be nearing that point here where the next trend after the Battle Royale may be coming up here soon. As for what it's going to be, who knows, of course, but.
It's going to be RTS. We're going to enter into another RTS golden age. StarCraft 3 2021. Let's go.
I love
by
that
all means,
comment.
Blizzard, go ahead to regain the trust of the people, if you can.
Okay.
I love that comment on Mixer. Nerd, get a real job.
Fun fact. Have one. All right. Anyway.
Same.
Yeah, this is my side gig, so.
This is a hobby. All right.
I get paid more doing my actual job than I do here, with all due respect. Don't fire me.
Got a problem?
Well, it was nice knowing you guys. See ya.
All right. Anyway, ignoring the denizens of the internet for now. Moving right along. Anthony, international events canceled, but it's just a flu,
Yes.
bro.
Okay, no comment. So this is coming from PC Games, and this was written 21 hours ago. Actually, this is
Hot
kind
off
of
the
new.
presses. Okay.
True fact. I think Andrew posted this yesterday, sometime in our Slack chat, saying that GDC is officially postponed till summer. So for those who don't know what GDC is, it's the Game Developers Conference that is held every year in America somewhere. I'm not American, so I don't know where.
I'm
San
American and
Francisco,
even I
yeah.
don't know where.
It's San Francisco.
Okay.
Officials for the Game Developers Conference have confirmed that the show is cancelled for now, and many major game publishers abandoned plans to attend the show as worries over the spread of the coronavirus mount. GDC has been forced to postpone the show until later in the year. Sony led the trend of leaving first, and then everybody followed suit.
Yeah.
After close consultation with our partners in the game development industry, and community around the world, the organization behind the event writes on the official site, "We've made the difficult decision to postpone the Game Developers Conference this March." The statement adds that we fully intend to host a GDC event later in the summer. We will be working with our partners to finalize the details, and we'll share more information about our plans in the coming weeks. GDC was set to take place between March 15 and March 20th, and its usual venue of San Francisco, California, Over the past week, a wide range of companies preemptively cancelled their GDC plans, including Activision Blizzard, Microsoft, Epic, Sony, Unity, Amazon Games, Facebook, and Oculus, Kojima Productions, and EA. Publications like Game Informer and Polygon have also officially announced that they're skipping the show.
Oof.
San Francisco is a hub for tech and game development in the US, but GDC is a very international event, leading to worries that the coronavirus would be a particular problem for the health and safety of representatives across the game industry. GDC's wait-and-see approach also has sparked criticism as developers who footed the travel bill for themselves were left in limbo for a show that was increasingly looking like a bust. A mini site called GDC what the heck?
A mini site called "Is GDC Cancelled Yet?" cropped up as people awaited official word on the show status.
Good stuff. Other parts of the game industry have been affected too. CCP was cancelled. EVE FanFest 2020. Major CSGO tournament, IEM Katowice, is going on without an audience. Games like Path of Exile 2 are facing delays as many Asian developers are advised not to come into the office. Of course, the greatest concerns are for the health of individuals, and it's good to see the industry prioritizing health over sticking to existing plans. What's the bet E3 gets cancelled?
It's just the flu, bro, and like 90.
I don't know.
Like 90.
There's so much money in E3, and E3 is such on the bad spot. They feel like they don't want to do that.
You know, part of me is actually kind of joking around that. Mind you, that of course, Corona is obviously as serious as they come, of course.
Yes.
But part of me is kind of going to find it very funny of how all these companies that are going to be skipping all these shows because of the coronavirus. And then imagine like it gets cured in May or it gets like cleared up by that time. And then it's like, okay, well, I guess the next thing coming up is E3. Okay, so what's after E3? So it's like, you know, just skipping it all together.
They could be in the perfect time frame by being in June.
Is still in play by that time.
Yeah, they could be in the perfect time frame by being in June, right? Wow, yeah.
The world is free of viruses. Everyone is healthy. Skip E3.
Life is deja vu.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, we're I don't know, Sony is definitely like, I don't want to say they're causing a lot of stuff, but like they definitely led the charge in terms of canceling events. Like they've been playing this whole thing super duper
well,
cautiously.
they've been canceling before the coronavirus came into place, ironically enough, but that's beside that point.
I mean, they pulled out of the Mobile World Conference over in Spain. We talked about that a couple weeks ago. And it was just like, that pretty much led to everyone pulling out. Also, they're like, oh, okay, Sony's doing it. Yeah, we're not showing up. We're dipping. Yeah.
I feel like Facebook and Oculus for GDC was a pretty major, like,
blow.
People who are like, yeah, on the forefront, like Oculus, we go, oh, they're on the forefront of like technology and they're not going. Like, something bad is probably, well, or not. I mean, it's bad, but like they're really, really, you know, taking precautions.
Yeah.
I
There is a
like,
related story, though. Anthony, what's this other one?
So this is about PAX East, which is currently ongoing, I think, at the moment.
Yep.
So this was written on February 22nd. So this is like earlier this week. The mayor of Boston has formally requested the Sony Corporation to reconsider its decision to pull out of an upcoming gaming showcase. Mayor Marty Walsh sent a letter to Kenichiro Yoshida, Sony's president and chief executive officer, Friday after the entertainment giant announced Wednesday that it will be cancelling its appearance at PAX East while citing fears about exposure of COVID-19, the novel coronavirus. We felt this was the safest option as the situation is changing daily, company officials wrote in a statement posted Wednesday. We are disappointed to cancel our participation in this event, but the health and safety of our global workforce is our highest concern. In the letter, Walsh said the risk of contracting the coronavirus in Boston and Massachusetts remains extremely low and that officials have no reason to believe that anyone should cancel their plans to visit the city. The mayor also said that fears about the coronavirus are fueled by confusion and lack of information, which has led to the growth of anti-Chinese and anti-Asian sentiment in Boston and around the country. These fears reinforce harmful stereotypes that generations of Asians have worked hard to dismantle, reads Walsh's letter. They trigger our worst impulses to view entire groups of people with suspicion, to close ourselves off and miss out on opportunities and connections. Blah, blah, blah. Boston is united in our effort to dispel these harmful and misguided fears. Since blah, 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 last
Did you
week,
just say a Japanese company is being racist towards other Japanese?
Nothing would surprise me.
Okay. That's partially how I interpreted that.
As a large international company, you have an opportunity to set a good example. Wrote in his letter, as the leader in technology, you can show that you are motivated by facts, not fear. As a leader in gaming and culture, you can show that you believe in connection, not isolation. Last month, state and city health officials, whatever, it just goes on to say about what Boston's doing about the coronavirus and what PAX East is. Yeah, so that's just like a small kind of news piece about Boston. The thing is, though, I don't feel like anybody has a right to say that, okay, so let me just say, he's not saying straight out right that you're being racist, like Sony's being racist or anything like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't feel like he has a right to say, well, you should be doing this, Sony, or you should be doing that, you should be showing. Because at the end of the day, a lot of Japanese people, so Sony is based in Japan, obviously.
Yeah,
a lot of Sony employees are Japanese. It's prevalent in Japan. They obviously probably don't want to bring the coronavirus over to America. And at the same time, they probably don't want to be exposed to it either. I feel like erring on the side of caution and pulling out of these events is a good idea, to be honest. Slow down the spread of it. Massive, giant groups of people isn't really a good thing for a virus, in my opinion. There's nothing wrong with being, taking precautions or anything like that. In my opinion, I may be wrong.
Given like Sony the benefit of the doubt here, right? It might be as much to protect their employees as it is to protect other people also, because they could be a Sony employee that has it and doesn't know it, but from what we understand, it's like you can still spread it to people in that case. So,
well, they could have it for 14 days without knowing that they're,
Well, I mean, technically, I'm not going to pretend like I know everything about the virus, but apparently if you go ahead and look at the symptoms between the coronavirus and the flu, they're all pretty much almost the same, with the only difference being that corona makes it really hard for you to breathe, apparently. And thus it's
pneumonia.
like, okay, if you have flu symptoms and you're having problems breathing, then it's like, okay, you might have something you probably should be concerned about. But otherwise, not many people would probably know unless if, they get tested. It's like, well, there you go. Sorry.
Conventions are like a mild petri dish in of themselves, even when there's not some new disease spreading around either too, right? Like I'd come home from like CES or like E3 or some other decently sized convention like SabatonCon. Sabaton takes place in the summer, but that's still it's still taking place. Yeah, it's like maybe feeling a little bit of a runny nose the next day or whatever, right? Or after a few days of coming back from it.
People call it the PAX plague for a reason, right? Like it's like people are touching controllers, you're touching controllers, touching face.
Yeah, bumping into people.
Unless if you're carrying hand sanitizer with you.
I literally
if you're germaphobe, stay away.
Whenever I go to a convention, I have a hand sanitizer attached to my bag. I'm still gonna not feel great usually when I get back, because you're already tired. Your immune system gets tired too. And then,
Well, I mean, unless you want to go in there in like a hazmat suit, with your whole face covered.
Yeah.
You're always gonna get something, because it's like
not unreasonable.
People coughing, sneezing, blah blah blah. So
or like sharing a VR headset, the wiping it down is not gonna kill everything.
Do you guys remember that story from this was probably a couple of years ago? There's eye herpes because of demoing VR headset or whatever.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah, that was a story going around. People
I'll believe you, herpes. But that sounds really silly.
Yeah.
That's not literal hurt. It was just like a bacteria infection.
Yeah, I think it was.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
I think the whole eye herpes thing turned out to be fake news, but partially fake news. And it turns out people were getting a mild infection because of improperly sanitized VR headsets at events. So
yeah, totally. This is a bummer for all of the conventions, especially GDC. There's a lot of little publishers that go there and pitch their ideas to bigger publishers like Sony or Microsoft, and then not getting a chance to do that in person is kind of a bummer. There's a lot of business happening at GDC, so that business not happening is not cool. But I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. I mean, San Francisco itself, I live in the Bay Area. It is not a clean city, particularly already. So public transportation is terrible and gross, and a lot of bad stuff on the streets. Trash, needles, all that good stuff. So I mean,
honestly, for myself, in regards to this whole situation between Sony and the PAX. I mean, it's understandable to take the precautions as necessary to keep employees safe, keep others safe, and so on and so forth. But I do have to admit that I kind of have to play devil's advocate, and I feel as though that by doing so, I'm going to have to put a tinfoil on my head right now. Or put some tinfoil hats on my head and stack it up like 2 or 3 times over, because I mentioned it previously in the chat between either us in our own private thing or within the main chat, that I am starting to get very suspicious about Sony being silent right now. And it feels as though that, not to say that, oh, Sony didn't have anything, that's why they skipped PAX, but it's also kind of more to the idea that it's like, Microsoft has made so many announcements of this and that so far in 2020. Meanwhile, Sony has not said anything else outside of, here is the PlayStation 5. Here is the font of the PlayStation 5. This is Godfall that will be on the PlayStation 5. Oh, no, wait, that was Gearbox. Not us. Sorry. And
my response to that is, like, Sony has a decently stacked year. And
they
don't
have
want
a
to
stacked year.
get tracked
And once
away
they
from the
do
hype of these games.
Yeah, well, I mean, when Sony actually does announce their things, it's going to be a freight train that's going to be crashing into the station. But until then, it's like, if you're someone who's, looking forward for information for this year, especially for this being the year for the new consoles coming up here, that is like, Sony, please give us some information. And if you're going to be skipping, it's like, then could you at least just say something, please?
Sure.
But then again, like I said, that's kind of me. I mean, if I had some tinfoil on me to spare, obviously I would be putting a hat on right now. Because obviously it's like, there's no way I could be able to say this with a straight face, unless if I want to start pretending that I'm a radio host of sorts.
Sure.
Okay, so I have a follow-up to this.
Oh, boy.
Go ahead.
So Sony has said that they are following the same model as the PS4 as far as announcement and release.
Okay.
So the PS4 was announced on the 27th of February, whatever the heck year it was announced. 2013?
12 or 13, yeah.
Whatever it was.
So they've said that they're basically following the same thing as the PS4 in this regard.
So
maybe a week later, maybe, around the same time, but I don't feel like Sony really needs to rush out and get anything out. Like, they might announce it next week. It's around the same time as the PS4, and it'll release around the same time as the PS4 as well, which was November 2014 or something.
Well, that was kind of for what was being mentioned as well, because, with Sony being the leaders in the industry, so to speak, obviously they don't have to be as vocal as Microsoft. That obviously they need to do quite a bit of backflips to go ahead and get people excited for their console, so to speak. But and that standpoint, I understand. But then, at the same time, it's like some people may not be that patient with Sony if Microsoft keeps saying information. But we're going to get to that here in just a moment, actually. So I'll leave it at that.
And the whole thing is, like, I've read. I'm not having a go at you at all, Mike. I'm just saying that I've read quite a bit of stuff on Reddit, and people are like, "Oh, why hasn't Sony announced anything?" Well, they've said plain and simple that they're doing the same thing as what they did for the PS4 and whatever. Just because Microsoft decides to go out ahead of the game, good luck to them. I mean, Sony can do whatever they want, really, and it's in my opinion, that's not really a great big deal that they're not doing it. They're taking their time, they're getting their specs right, whatever. Obviously, there's probably going to be a delay as well with certain things because of this coronavirus. But I reckon we'll probably see a announcement, from Sony early March, in my opinion, because it's around the same time as PS4. That's what people need to kind of remember.
Do things like the PS5 even need to be marketed? Like, honestly?
To be honest, no.
Like, we all kind of know what it is, right? We all know what it is.
Well, I mean, we need to at least have some idea of what it is. Otherwise, it's the Simpsons episode with Homer's magnificent car, where it's like, you don't know anything about this car, and, last thing I want to do is find out what it is like a day or two before it goes on sale or whatever.
Sure.
Obviously, that's not going to happen with this PlayStation 5, but it's like, sooner or later, we're going to need some information. And, you may not need to market it, but some information would still be nice.
There's a thing that I saw on Twitter, which was kind of funny about, asking, would you still buy a PS4 if, PS5 if, blah, blah, blah. And it's like one of the questions was, would you still buy a PS5 if it was $100 more than a Xbox One Series X?
Mhm.
And like 98% of the answers was like, yes. Would you still buy a
Console
PS4
loyalty.
would you still buy a PS5 if it was announced in June? Yes. Nobody really, I don't think like PS4 or PlayStation fans in general really care like about specs or whatever. Some people might. Just give them time, in my opinion.
I get the feeling this time around, the PS5 might be the more expensive console. I'm throwing it out there now. Yeah,
I don't know. Part of me is kind of hoping for that because it's like if there was ever a situation where it's like suddenly people are flocking over to Xbox over the PlayStation 5, and it's like we have the same mentality, but it's now reversed, and I'm just gonna go ahead and call the whole internet a whole bunch of hypocrites because it's like, yeah, I literally have proof that I was on this boat saying that Xbox was my preferred console long before the rest of you people. So get off. Get out of here.
Yeah, get off the lawn. Get off the lawn.
Get off the lawn. I am
get off the property.
The 360
I am a part of the master race. You only just trying to get yourself in here.
It was huge, right? 360 was massive.
On you.
You know, PS4 came along and just had a better marketing scheme, I guess, right?
Had better exclusives for such a long time, also, right? It's just like, it's like.
Well, they allowed you games. That's already enough said already.
Yeah.
Xbox.
Well, that's not by marketing.
One.
Like, that game, Xbox didn't. It allowed use games, but just not.
Well, the thing is,
a lot of marketing around Xbox was tainted by the whole fiasco around stuff.
Yeah, no, the console war for this generation ended before it even started, literally, because of the whole fiasco between the DRM, the used games, the Kinect, and the guy who was in charge saying, well, if you don't like this system, we have another system for you, and it's called an Xbox 360.
Such a good line.
It really is.
Yeah, no, and literally, it was a whole maelstrom of nonsense that obviously the Xbox One was basically set to fail. No. But, you know, that's beside that point, and honestly, that just triggers me every time I think of it, and makes me go ahead and thank the very good gentleman who's now in charge. Thank you very kindly, Phil. Yes, Phil Spencer. Thank you very much for taking over. And
Daddy Phil.
Daddy Phil.
Big Dick
I
Phil.
will call him. Sure, why not? I'll call him Daddy Phil. I call Reggie Daddy. I can call Phil my daddy too.
Okay.
All right. So going right along. While we're talking about Sony and everything, right? Let's talk about a very closely tied to Sony production studio, who's also Japanese. Andrew, what do we got here?
Yes.
Oh no.
You may have heard of this company.
No.
Kojima Productions.
Who's that? I've never heard of them. They made that game with the fish, right? And the babies?
The baby game. Yeah, the baby game. You carry a baby across a wasteland. Death Stranding. Ooh, it took me a second.
Nintendo does?
Yeah.
Just saying that it's basically a FedEx's dream come true.
Sort of.
FedEx the game.
Yeah.
Ever wonder what it was like to be your local UPS guy?
Yes. So
right down to being attacked.
They've basically been teasing some stuff for a bit. It seems like actually, but recently, like yesterday.
Stop this again.
So Aki Saito. I'm gonna
Aki Saito. Yeah.
Saito. Yeah, head of communications at the Hideo Kojima studio. He posted a couple tweets, and I'll just read them verbatim because there's apparently a lot to unpack from these tweets, according to people. Sorry to be silent, everyone. I've been really busy lately. I think I can say more soon about what we are going to. And then he didn't really.
Ellipsis ends.
Yes, thank you. And like it shows him like silent. We're going to be silent. He's got like people have really dug in to this picture. They've looked at what he's writing on the notepad, and it said next week.
Okay.
So that's pretty clear. Obviously, maybe they'll be announcing something next week. And then even further into it, like, oh, silent. Sorry to be silent. It's going to be a Silent Hill. And then this man is holding a pencil because not the correct type of pencil, unfortunately.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't carry pyramid brand pencils. Well, clearly, the pencil chosen by Kojima himself.
What's fascinating is that next week is written in English, but I digress.
Yes. Well, the whole tweet is in English as well. Yeah. So
Anyway.
But the pencil this gentleman's holding is Pyramid Brand. So people think in Silent Hill, Pyramid Head, who's a character in Silent Hill, a big bad guy. I'm not familiar with what he's mad
He's
about.
an enemy.
But yeah, he's angry. So yeah, I don't know. It's this interesting thing, like, because Konami still owns Silent Hill. So
I'll have to bring it up.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see, like, if Kojima, they're back on like good terms with
Konami.
Yeah.
Did Konami like contract out development to Kojima Productions?
I mean, they could.
It's quite possible. And like Konami's been out there recently saying like, oh, we want to get out there with something that's not just like health clubs and pachinko.
Yeah, sure.
So
What's it say on his computer?
I don't know if it's anything relevant, but it's hard for me to see. I don't have like an enhance button here.
From
Enhance.
Yeah, I don't have an enhance button. But this also is interesting because it comes back to like Kojima, who tweeted himself like, I don't know, it was a couple of years ago. I don't know where I put that thing. But it was like Kojima being like, "Oh, I'm in the office alone by myself."
No, in the stew.
Yeah. And then he had like some like sand on his like backdrop of like, oh, it's pyramid and like all that stuff. So
Oh Lord.
people are, honestly though, this is
It's fun. It's fun to unravel the mystery. It was fun to track, like, trying to figure out what the hell is going on in Death Stranding for like the year.
Was it?
Or for like the 3 years after its release. It was.
Some people enjoyed it.
I mean,
apparently.
even Metal Gear Solid 5 had this weird thing going on.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they actually are working on a Silent Hill game because like
We're long overdue for one.
we are well.
It'd be the biggest egg on face thing ever for Konami, though, right? If they were like,
Yeah.
okay, fine.
Yeah. Oh, I
We'll
also
rehire this man.
Whatever. I found this tweet. How do I share this? I found the tweet of Hideo Kojima basically being like, "Oh, working on the next title, whatever." I just want to note that there's a Norman Reedus face just on his desk.
Is that the tweet where he just has like a bunch of props on his desk and he's like working on a plot or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I saw that. I was like, what?
It's so great. There's just a Norman Reedus face chilling there.
Yeah.
And it makes so much sense, but none at all at the same time.
I don't know. So, sometimes it's like it's fun to speculate things, but then at the same time, it's like, it feels like there's plenty of red herrings because, like for example, it's like, gee, I hope we get that sponsor soon, whoever it is.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. How 100% are we that this is a
This
game?
is as good as mine as to who it might be.
Yeah, this is true. Taylor has a good point. It could not even be a game. It could be just
Yeah.
a
TV show
or something.
Silent Hill, the movie.
Like Monster Hunter, the
actual-
movie.
They
No,
actually have
no,
a couple Silent
no.
Hill movies.
No,
Yeah.
we're not talking about that.
Well, they exist. You can
Yeah,
watch
I mean,
them.
like Kojima has said
I
that
don't
it's
want
like he
it to
wants a
exist.
studio to take on other projects that aren't game related, like anime and manga, even some like animated movies and whatnot. So we'll see.
Well, and then, I mean, at that standpoint, if we got more stuff like the Castlevania on Netflix, by all means, let's make it happen. But
Yeah.
kind of hard to say what would happen within this circumstance, if you will, because obviously Kojima is a really good storyteller. I mean, some people could argue that, but essentially, like if Kojima wanted to make his own movie, I'm pretty sure that if he went to Sony or whoever and said like, "I have an idea for a movie. Here you go. Take the money."
Yeah, because Sony is a big film studio, also. So
Can you make that movie in an hour and a half? That's
no, we're gonna be sitting for like
he
a
can
4-hour
take 3
long
hours if
movie.
he wants to, because he's Kojima.
Wait,
I mean,
whoa.
now-
Yeah,
how
he's
long
made
did they-
movies and he put them in his games before. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, he cannot edit. He doesn't
he's not
edit.
very concise. He's not very concise.
So these games are incredibly long.
Anthony has a bid thought. What's your bid thought?
So in this photo, of,
He's playing some detective here.
Oh,
here we go.
Lord.
Yep.
Go
In this
ahead.
photo,
Which photo? Which
Anthony's-
photo are we referring to?
the one that the story's about.
Okay.
There's
Self-help.
Death Stranding comics
Yeah.
/ manga. Do they actually exist?
Oh no. So
In real life?
those are magazines that talk about Death Stranding. There's no.
Probably like
Oh.
2 or something. I'm not sure.
I thought they looked like whatever.
It could be. Yeah, that one does look a little more like bookendy. The one in the back there.
His
but it could just be
laptop
like
just says from Sapiens to Ludens, which is like a big like Kojima studio thing. Same with the
That's a Death
desktop
Stranding
monitor at the
thing,
back.
right?
It's more of a like Kojima Productions in general thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ludens. I don't even know. I just know
The
Ludens.
Luden is like
guy
that.
with-
Is like you know the
helmet.
mascot for
Yeah,
Kojima
that-
Studios, like that big like mech knight thing or whatever.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
Luden. Yeah, that's like a Luden.
Interesting.
Sure.
Is that a? Black?
Yeah. I don't know. God, he does it. He gets me every time, man. Kojima. He does
You
this
gotta love
every
it.
time.
You gotta love
I
it.
fall for his tricks, and the game comes out. I buy it, and then
And it's
here we
bad.
are, and it's probably bad. Or,
But everyone says that it's good, or at least good enough to be nominated for Game of the Year.
I mean, I played it. It's definitely was not. It was fine. I
I don't think it was Jody worthy, but
It was good. It's. We don't need to get into stranded concept.
whatever.
Conversation because another day. But it was fine, and it did stuff for people.
Yeah.
So.
Kojima just has a way of just triggering the worst of us sometimes.
Oh, I mean, the writing is definitely not the best.
No, the writing's bad.
Trying to figure out everything going on this picture here.
I think I spoiled myself on Death Stranding, and I just
Oh, okay.
like audibly laughed.
You expected too much, did you?
I like my significant other just like, oh yeah, we had a conversation about it like in school for like a topic, and I'm like, really? She's like, yeah, I know the ending. I'm like, what? Is it good? And she's like,
It turns out that
but
Guillermo
you
del
might like
Toro
it. I
was
was
the
like, what does
monster that we
mean?
all thought he was.
Yeah.
But nah, but you might like it.
She's like, you might like this ending. I'm like, why? Because I like bad things. Is that what you're implying? So. Yeah.
All right, so he has an iPhone and an Apple Watch. The case on his iPhone is made by a company called Spec.
Oh no.
Here's a
I'm really into
MacBook.
it.
Yeah, here's a MacBook. There looks like an Apple TV remote underneath the MacBook there. Or no, that's probably
Lord.
just like part of the aluminum stand for it. That black notebook, I wonder if that's a reference to Death Note. I don't know. Maybe a Death Note game? That'd be weird.
Yeah.
Haven't
I
they
mean,
done
I don't
one
know.
before?
Have you guys played any Silent Hills?
Honestly, no.
I'm a coward.
I feel like I dabbled in them when I was
I've
a
seen-
kid,
I've
but
gone through a bunch of stuff about PT or whatever, but
I had that.
that's about it.
still, so-
Yeah.
But like I don't even know anything about it really, except for like Foggy City, like Pyramid Head demons. There's like a weird alien ending in one of them, or something.
And the dog that controls the whole everything.
Yeah, is that the ending I'm talking about? Maybe.
Well, I mean, there was one with aliens, and then there was one with the dog.
Oh, okay. So yeah, game's like wild, right? So like
Yeah.
if you just do another one, I'm in for it. Like, especially like with the more modernized controls and all that good stuff.
I'm
Yeah,
into
What
it.
do his tabs say?
I don't think he has a web browser open.
He does.
I don't know.
It
You
looks
don't want to
like
look at
it
those.
looks like he's full screening a YouTube video.
He's got tabs up the top left on his second monitor.
Oh yeah, you're right. I don't have an enhance button.
I'm sure you
Get
could go
on
on some kind of Reddit and they will find that information.
Read his writing.
Do enhancing.
Uh-huh.
All right. Before we go like full CSI mode on this, maybe, yeah. I don't know. What's the over under? Is this probably another game? Do we think this is like another game, or do we think it's actually another project?
Metal Gear
know.
Solid 7.
I hope. No. Wait,
Why
do we
not?
have 6?
No.
No, unless if
Um,
we go to count that other game that's technically
That's
not
why.
a Metal Gear Solid game, but no one talks about that one.
Survive.
The one with the
Survive.
zombies.
Oh, Survive.
The not zombies, I mean. I'm sorry.
Those are, yeah, clearly.
What?
What's his jacket say?
Places something.
Lift up his shirt. What? Okay, anyway, we don't need to go
Take it off, Kojima.
Places
not-
and faces.
Huh?
there.
Maybe. We might be going
I
to
don't
a
know.
lot of places. You know who doesn't have a face pyramid head?
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know.
Confirmed.
Stitches get stitches.
Confirmed.
Okay, thank you, Kojima.
All right, Silent Hill confirmed.
His ears shaped like a.
Yeah, all right. Well.
I'm pro this pairing.
Yeah,
I'm pro Kojima pairing back up with Konami.
I am. Yes, we might actually get Metal Gear Solid 6 too.
I don't know.
You
if
might
we need
actually
that.
get a good Konami game.
I don't know if we need another.
I will say, I think PES soccer is pretty good. most of the time.
I don't know if we need another Metal Gear Solid, but yeah, you know.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and
We do
shift
need another
sides.
Contra. That's not Contra Road.
No, you got Contra Road, and you'll be happy with it. Yeah. Sorry.
I played it for free and I felt like I got ripped off.
You play for free?
It was part of the Xbox Gold free weekend games program. there where you could have played it for free for a weekend, and I tried it out, and I was like, okay, yeah, I literally paid nothing for this to try it out for the weekend, and I still feel like I just got cheated out of something out of my wallet.
Just your time.
Yeah, time is money, friend.
Oh man, it's really cheap now. Oh, no.
It's
all
not
right,
cheap
you know
enough.
what? Let's go ahead and shift sides on the console wars here, okay? And talk about. I guess there's been some Xbox news, Mike. A little bit of a news roundup because, as previously mentioned in the Sony segment, Xbox has not been silent at all about the Series X. So, take it away.
So while Sony has been remaining silent on their PlayStation 5, and we don't know that much outside of what might have been leaked out previously, and whatever for that might be, Microsoft has not been wasting any time in discussing what their obelisk of a system has in store for us. So they did go ahead and make a post here on their site for what you can expect from the next generation of gaming. You can be able to read through it yourself. It's a bit too long to go ahead and literally summarize this whole thing, but just to go ahead and try to bring it all together. So, let me see here. So we have a next generation console processor. Xbox is our most powerful console ever, powered by our custom design processor leverage. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you have a PC that's...
what does that even mean?
Apparently that it's a custom design processor that apparently their own PCs have yet to achieve, but who knows. Viable ray shading, which is our patented form of VRS, empowers developers to more efficiently utilize the full power of the Xbox Series X. Rather than spending the GPU on every single pixel on the screen, they can prioritize individual effects on a specific game characters or important environmental objects. So,
nice.
Okay, yeah, that's nice to do. So that if you don't want the whole stage to be showing, you could go ahead and just have small parts of it at a time. So, okay, cool, if that's how that works. Hardware accelerated DirectX ray tracing. You could expect more dynamic, realistic environments, blah, blah, blah. Gonna continue to try to shoot through here. Ooh, a solid state drive storage.
No way!
I mean, yeah, the PlayStation 5 is going to have this too, but I guess solid state drive. Even me being brand new to the PC world, and I could already see, like, I'm kind of surprised we haven't done this already, but whatever. Quick resume. It lets you continue multiple games from a suspended state almost instantly. And, that's pretty cool if you do go ahead and play like 2 or 3 games on your system at one time. And again, there's so many things to talk about, like 120 FPS support, because apparently 60 might not be doing it for you. But the biggest thing that was being shown here that everyone has been talking about is the thing called smart delivery. And for smart delivery, and I'm going to read this part here. This technology empowers you to buy a game once and know that whether if you're playing on the Xbox One or Xbox Series X, you are getting the right version of that game on whatever Xbox you are playing on.
Fun.
So this effectively means that if you're going ahead to, like, say, you're not going to jump onto the next generation right away, but you still want Halo Infinite. All right, well, you could go ahead and buy a Halo Infinite on the Xbox One, enjoy it, and then if you go ahead and upgrade to the Series X, you could be able to get Halo Infinite carried over to the new system, get all the fancy upgrades and all that good stuff, and you're not having to pay an extra dime to do that. That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
And while they did go ahead and say that, all Xbox Game Studio titles are going to be having this too, but then this technology is also going to be open for any developers and publishers out there who may also want to do it. And of course, because CD Projekt Red is the most friendliest and most badass company out there right now, they wasted no time in tossing out a tweet saying that, quote unquote, Cyberpunk 2077 will in fact be available for both the Xbox One and later for the Series X following this project when it comes out at a later time. So yeah, pick up Cyberpunk 2077 in September, enjoy it, and then if you upgrade your system, then you get upgraded directly to the Series X right then and there.
Yep, no extra money.
No
extra costs. So essentially, all this was being done, and I guess there's one more thing to say, because recently we did get one extra feature, which I'm not going to go into details, but I'm just going to do a TDL or too long don't read version of it, which is that in case if you go to power off your system completely and turn it back on, you can't continue right where you last left off.
Yeah.
Even after a hard reboot.
Sure.
Nice.
Not sure how that works if it gets unplugged, or if it stays like that.
If it gets unplugged, it won't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
power-
I mean, in
power
that
outage
circumstance, that
probably
makes
won't
sense.
be
But
great.
yeah, but even so, that's still like all the things that we found out for the Xbox Series X as of late. And if you want to say that Microsoft is doing everything in their power to try to win people over, as far as the technology side goes, I'd like to think that they've been doing a pretty good job, and and actually getting people interested and invested in the system, because a lot of people are obviously going to be like one or the other, and if they don't have console loyalties, then you want to try to win people over as much as possible.
Yeah.
So, and technically, this is actually a really big deal, especially for the part of the smart delivery, where it's like, you want people to buy your next system, but then you don't want people to feel like they're having to be forced into making an investment if there's, quote unquote, nothing to play on it.
Yeah, I will say that this
So-
is certainly a really smart way of handling like the generation gap here. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it honestly feels like this should have been something that should have happened at the start of this generation.
Yeah.
Where you had like games like Assassin's Creed, Black Flag, and Injustice, and a few others that just so happen to have next generation titles and improved graphics, but then technically you're having to pay for the same game twice. So
I was gonna bring up Black Flag specifically. They did something really smart actually, where if you had the old version, you could pay like a very nominal fee, like $5 or $10.
Yeah, for a
they
cheap
would
upgrade.
Well, I mean, mind you, I don't know the full details of it, but essentially I just say that because that was the only one that came to my mind.
I just want to make note because they were.
Yeah, no, and I don't mind
heavily-
being corrected on that by all means,
Yeah.
because Black Flag was a good game. I like that one, especially after Assassin's Creed 3. That one kind of left me burnt, but that's beside that point.
True is
Yeah.
good, don't at me.
So essentially, it's kind of making me think of what exactly is going to be happening as we move towards the end of the year, towards when the systems launch. Because, I mean, not to fall back to what I was saying earlier about, Microsoft is giving us all the information while Sony gives us none. But, at the same time, though, it's like, this is now being tossed at Sony now, where it's like, so Sony, do you want to do the same thing here too? Like whatever games that you have coming out on the PlayStation 5, that's you're also saying that if you release on the PlayStation 4, that's also going to carry over, or are you going to have people buy the same game twice?
Yeah.
I think
that.
I don't know. I think like this whole thing, like what we seen on the Xbox Series X, and when we mentioned the whole the previous guy before Phil Spencer talked about how we have a console for that. It's for the Xbox 360
We
and
do
everything.
not talk about that. As
Yeah,
that.
right. It's like they're doing. It's like they learned from the mistake of, not only did we do a garbage job leading up to the release of the Xbox One X, but we also didn't focus on gaming features. But now it's just like, okay, we're going to detail a lot of features about the Xbox One Series X and everything, and we're also going to make it all gaming focused too, right?
Sure.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and for the people who are trying to turn this into a console board, saying,
But, like-
oh, this is great. It would be nice if there were games on it.
Right.
And it's
Wow.
like, yeah, did you forget that Halo Infinite and Hellblade 2 were literally announced while Sony has yet to announce one game on the PlayStation 5 up to this
Godfall.
Wait,
No, they didn't announce
Oh,
that. That
Sony
was
themselves.
Gearbox.
Okay.
Yeah, Sony
Okay,
themselves.
gotcha.
So it's like literally that until Sony comes out and say like, here's the next God of War game, or here is The Last of Us Part 3, or whatever comes out. That until they do make that announcement, you are not allowed to make that argument. If literally Microsoft has more games announced than Sony does for the next generation at the moment.
Yeah, let me
I
say.
guess.
Yeah, let me say
I mean,
that.
I know
like,
I'm gonna get torn apart for saying that, but still, that's kind of my stand on that. I'm sticking to it.
the other part to the point that I was trying to make was it's like Sony has never really shot themselves in the foot before in a marketing campaign, right? They're
Or
very
PlayStation 3.
$599 US.
Mm-hmm.
okay. The I
Ridge
don't know if it's
Racer.
a fault of
Here's this
marketing, but
dynamic
more of
graph.
just like a pretty high price point.
I mean, the PS3 eventually caught up and surpassed the Xbox 360, but
Yeah.
at
Okay.
launch, PS3 was was bad. Like,
And I just
that
like the
was
trend
not
this year is that
good.
like the Xbox One never caught up to the PS4.
No.
Yeah, no, at that standpoint, no argument there. Everyone can agree on that one for
Okay.
sure.
Um,
That it's just right now that Microsoft is definitely making sure that everything that they need to have done right for the Series X, they want to make sure that there's no slip ups this time.
Sure.
That when they get to the starting line, they're not going to trip right at the start, essentially.
Yeah. Okay.
And
I mean,
you know,
I think this is an interesting article. The stuff they talk.
Yeah.
They talk about the teraflops again, which is just absolutely
12
nonsense.
teraflops.
Nobody really uses that
all
in terms
flopping
of
right
like
at you.
computing
Yeah.
calculation. It just let's do it on a marketing sheet.
And like the ray tracing stuff is interesting, but also like, how's that even going to work yet? We don't know. Like, is it going to actually? How's it going to look on it? Is it going to be scaled back? Who knows? We'll find out. SSD's great. Obviously, we want SSDs. The quick resume stuff. I enjoy the quick resume stuff.
That's fascinating. I like it. It's kind of more in line with like all the other tech you have in your life now, because like your phones have that, modern laptops have that, and everything. Right? Yeah, stuff like that. So.
But how like it's I don't know. I think it's relatively insignificant. Like it's a cool feature that like it's like, oh, I can just boom and I'm back to where I was. But at the same time, like just loading.
That's not a game changer.
Yeah, like loading up a game. Like half the games that I play, it doesn't matter because they're online. So like, I'm getting booted back to a menu anyway. Or whatever, right? So like that's cool for like the single player games, but even single player games like Dark Souls or I don't know if Sekiro does. I don't think they do that, do they? But like can't really can't pause
it.
No,
you can pause Sekiro completely.
You can. Okay. Yeah. So like a Dark Souls or whatever, like a lot of those games you just can't pause.
Yeah, Bloodborne.
So, yeah, and if you disconnect, you like they yell at you. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they do.
Mr.
It's like
Mr.
Resetti, your connection is lost, setting you to single player mode or whatever.
Well, I think in some of the Dark Souls, it just kicked you back to the menu.
I know in Dark Souls 1 it does that, at least on PC.
That's the one I've only really played. So maybe that's just my
in Dark Souls 3, it tells you. I don't think it kicks you out of the game, but I do know that it's like if there's anything wrong with you with your connection, it's just like instant. Nope, single player mode.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You see it kind of. I don't know if does it boot you back to a menu or does it kind of switch?
I don't remember. I don't think it boots you back to the menu though.
Okay, that's good at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then HDMI 2.1. I don't know what
that's
that means.
Okay. I mean.
Yeah.
It allows it to do 4K 180 or so with bandwidth between the display thing.
Talking more about low latency stuff, which is all good.
Sure.
Latency input of something or another.
So like if your TV is old, you're not gonna be able to get a good latency.
Right, but it's like most modern TVs have like a gaming mode where they cut back on most of the visual processing and just favor of input latency.
And then the whole
consoles have really high input latency, like I think the latest specs that I've seen is just like 300 milliseconds on a like Series X or whatever, or not Series X, a 1X, and it's like really high.
Like fighting games, like build delay into their games so that like everyone is like kind of on the same level because people have different TVs and stuff. So you're gonna get like, oh, like Street Fighter notoriously had like I think it was like 7 frames of delay at launch, right?
Oh, for real? Okay.
Yeah, everyone was very angry that like, oh, like why are we out? Why is it 7 frames of delay? That's too much. So that's gonna be just all over the place. It depends on your setup, right?
Yeah. I will say also that like I don't know, we see a bunch of these like Xbox stories trickling out as like Microsoft drips more and more information about it, and just like I always just like walked away from reading these articles and it's just like I've learned nothing new in this, right? Like maybe I bought into like earlier rumors too much before Microsoft confirmed it, or maybe it's just like, okay, it's been really easy to tell if you have knowledge of like the hardware market and everything of like, this is about the price point, and it'll be, oh, I can tell you just like a year in advance what it'll probably have in it, right?
Yeah.
Just because based on the price point. So.
Yeah. And then 120 FPS, that seems, I don't know. I was playing games last year where I was getting, double, like 15 frames per second. So
I've had
120 FPS on perfect.
Yeah.
Well, I'd imagine we're going to see, like, I know it's like a few games I've played on my PS4 Pro had this option where it's like you prioritize frame rate or like visual fidelity. And so it was just like, God of War will scale back to the rendering a bit to maintain a constant 60 or whatever. So I'd imagine we're going to start seeing games with a lot more settings where it's just like, okay, do you want to opt for a higher frame rate or for better graphics fidelity? So.
Yeah, no, and I can mention that for Monster Hunter World 2, where it does give you the option to prioritize graphics or prioritize frame rates.
Yeah, you see, if you're on PC, you can customize your graphics settings so that you can push the refresh rate on your monitor anyway.
It's all about frames of fidelity. That's my campaign I'm starting.
I highly doubt the Series X will be able to maintain 120 FPS, to be honest, because most like lower, most mid-tier graphics cards can't even do that.
They might have a hard time driving it.
So
Yeah.
But
I
hey,
mean,
like they
it's-
said, it's a graphic or it's a custom processor, so
1080p
Who knows if they
120 might be
practice.
doable at this point with what's going to be in it, but like you try and go
sure.
higher resolution, then it might be a little bit different.
I don't like if you're trying to play Apex on.
Oh.
There could be a lot going on.
I
Yeah.
really doubt it. I
Yeah.
really doubt
It'll
it.
probably dip a bit, right?
Yeah,
They'll probably go
100%.
back
Won't be
with
able to maintain it.
resolution scaling quite a bit and like dynamically tweak that because that's becoming popular even in the PC
PUBG,
space.
can that even hit 60 these days?
No way. Yeah, PUBG is just like effed completely.
Yeah. So it
Yeah.
falls on developers, not just the box itself, obviously, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah, I will say that it's kind of weird, right? So it's like I used a 4K monitor since 2016. And then for like gaming and everything, so it's like 4K 60 hertz and everything, and I really loved the damn thing. But then it's like in December, I decided to buy a 1440p 144 hertz monitor as my gaming monitor, and it's just like I don't know, there are quite a few trade-offs. I think like I definitely liked the sharper image on the 4K monitor a lot. The color accuracy is a lot better. Man, I love this thing. It's off to my side now, so I use it as a
Your
secondary
eyeballs didn't
monitor.
just explode as soon as you look
Yeah,
at
exactly. Yeah, and it was
Yeah.
like it was really nice. But then it's just like I don't know, got used to playing at the 144 hertz and everything. And it's like, and then I tried going back a couple weeks ago, just saying what it was like, and I was just like, oh, too slow. This is way too slow. This doesn't feel good at all. So I don't know. Once you go 144, you don't really go back, I guess.
it.
Like you,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I
I,
mean,
I kind of agree, to be honest. Like I
never played.
had a 144. When I first bought my 144 hertz monitor, I was playing it on 59 hertz, and I didn't realize. So I changed it somewhere to 144, and I didn't realize that it hadn't actually applied. So I had to go somewhere else. I booted up like Hitman or something after I done it, and I'm like, how have I been gaming? This is so different.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like this, going back to the Series X for a bit, this won't be able to maintain like ray tracing and 20 FPS and
Yeah.
all
that's
these different things.
That's the thing. These are all separate features from each other that won't necessarily work at the same time with each other, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah,
You'll be able
but
to
I mean-
choose like have ray tracing or have your game look like crap and achieve 120 FPS.
Sure.
yeah.
I'm so
Yeah, but
mean
you guys
to
have
Xbox.
both, but yeah, kind of hard to see how that'll play out.
Now, I will say though that Game Pass is incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah, Game Pass
Pass
is
is-
pretty sweet.
that's incredible. Yeah,
Absolutely incredible, and that
shout out to
alone.
Microsoft for that.
Yeah, that alone, like I could see people buying like the console for because like
Yeah.
Game Pass is amazing. You're paying like, well, I think it's cheaper on PC. I'm paying like $5 a month,
Mhm.
and there's just games here that I like thought about buying, and then they popped up here, and I'm like, oh,
Okay, well,
Yeah,
I'll play
of
it
course,
now.
I'm
Cool.
back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it happens almost all the time. And like I said at the very start of the show, right now, I got Yakuza 0 right now. And that didn't cost me anything outside of the Game Pass fee. So it's
Yeah.
like, well, I got my entertainment for the weekend.
yeah. I mean, well, even longer with some of these games, right? You're gonna
Yeah.
like get these gigantic.
Well, then I think Kingdom Hearts 3 also just joined the Game Pass too. So it's like for people who didn't jump on that one last year,
sure.
they can do it now.
There's been such a trend too, where it's like, oh, this is an Epic exclusive, but it's also on Game Pass. It's like, oh, cool, I don't have
Yeah.
to support Epic.
Yeah, I mean, not that
I can still
you
play
could-
this game and not support Epic. Sweet.
See, everybody
suppose.
wins, like that PlayStation 5 game. Either you could play it on PlayStation 5 or you could play it exclusively at the Epic Store.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, there were some like
Pick your
really
poison.
sweet games on the Game Pass here. Like,
Yep.
let's see.
Can't you get like
Wars
Game Pass
2?
that has Xbox games on it as well? Like there's an Ultimate option. Or
Yeah, there
something,
is.
isn't there?
Or there's
Yeah.
just a PC one.
Well, I think that is the one that covers Xbox One and the PC, if I
Yeah.
recall correctly. So
There's Kingdom
you have that
Come
option.
Deliverance. I've wanted to play that game. Metro Exodus.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like there's a bunch
yeah,
of
lots of goodies.
bunch of good stuff too.
Yeah, overall, that obviously I kind of have my thoughts on the Series X already.
Mhm.
Wasn't thinking about upgrading anytime soon, of course, but who knows? Maybe after we get past the summer, maybe there will be that one or two game announcement that's gonna make me consider trading up, so to speak. But
Well, the
Hard to
whole
say.
other thing as well is this can kind of play into Sony's point of view as well, is why they're quite Do we think, these next-gen consoles are going to get delayed because of the coronavirus?
I don't think so.
I feel
think so, to be honest.
Most of the stuff, honestly, I'll be real with you. Most of the stuff happens in like Taiwan or the Philippines. Like most of the yeah. It's
Part
like
of Xbox was out recently that was just like basically been like, oh, it's not going to delay us, but we're going to take like a bit of a hit.
yeah.
They said that like a couple of months back.
And there might be a supply hit to it, but I don't think it'll like be enough to delay it.
Okay.
Possibly. Yeah.
Yeah, because
the only hit that I've seen that's been talked about has only been the cost of the consoles, with everyone saying the PlayStation 4 or 5 is going to be X many dollars. So if they sell it at 400, they're going to be selling it at a loss. But that's
people
all
sell stuff at a loss all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, you're going to make your money off of the software and subscriptions. You're not going to make your money by selling the software. That's or buying the hardware. That's only the buy-in.
This might actually be one of the first console generations where the companies behind them don't have the console sold at a loss.
That's true. Well, Nintendo never sells at a loss.
No, Nintendo never. But I mean,
Nintendo plays by their own rules.
With Microsoft and Sony, that is. Yeah.
Well, so I think it was like PS4 was like getting like a $12 profit or something, or $18 profit.
Okay.
Something.
I remember they took
marginal.
a loss on the PS3. After they cut the price.
After they cut the price, that makes sense.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, we'll see how things play out, but definitely we'll be interested in seeing if we continue to get more news from Microsoft while Sony remains silent, or if Sony is actually going to come out and whatever they announce may go ahead and undermine everything that Microsoft's done up to this point. But we'll see what happens, of course, once we get closer to the summer.
Who knows anymore when things are going to get announced?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, honestly, just like I don't know. Can we stop worrying about it? We know we'll eventually get news about the PS5. Okay.
Yeah.
Between now and December, we'll get news about the PS5. Okay. And
exactly. Just some people are just rather impatient and just want that news right now.
Sure.
Give it to us now. Give me.
Of course.
Well, yeah. It's like you're a gaming site and you write like a news story about it, right? That's gonna get you some clicks. So yeah.
Maybe. What do you think, Anthony? Do you think that could benefit us if they had just announced something right now?
No.
Yeah, I did stick a news writer right now.
Exactly. Yeah.
All
right. But yeah, enough about that.
Well, speaking of next gen stuff, something that'll probably pop back up in the next generation of consoles will be Anthem. Yay! This is
so Tyler. Something special happened in Anthem just recently.
Yeah, this was a blog post. This was a blog post accompanying a update on February 25th. And well, the long and short of it is not only is Anthem late in celebrating their 1-year anniversary, but with this update, they just, and keep in mind this was on February 25th, they just now took down the Christmas decorations.
I mean, you know what? It's okay. Christmas is a good holiday. Gotta give it up. Christmas is like top 2 holidays. So.
Sorry, that felt necessary.
It's okay. So
top 2 holidays, Christmas. So it's okay. It happens. Things get busy. You forget to clean the lights up. You forget to take the tree out. I understand.
Spring's right around the corner. It might be a good time to finally take down the lights.
Yeah. So we've previously. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this. We previously talked about Anthem. Undergoing the rework officially, and when that might be around. It's not going to be until next year at least, probably.
So next gen, when next gen comes out, probably.
Yeah, a couple of depressing things about this blog post about the update and everything. They say expect us to go silent for a little while, and at the bottom they say to put a wrapper on Ice Tide, which was like their holiday update and everything, which is what it got update out of. Below are the top scores from the final week, because they have like a leaderboard of a raid or whatever you do in Anthem, right? Week 11, it's completely blank.
Yes. I love it.
Yeah.
Really fast, Tyler, there's one thing that I just loved about that.
I'll just check back later.
We're going to be going quiet for a while.
Yeah.
I made a joke about this, saying that, doesn't it sound like, Dad's going to be back from the store buying his cigarettes soon? Like,
EA will come back. BioWare will come back soon. It's okay.
He's just buying some milk. He'll be back soon. Right?
Yeah.
A year later?
2 or 3 years later. Who knows?
Yeah. So, yeah, this is like.
Why?
Short is just
Bad.
taking the entire game down. This is pretty much. This is pretty much it until they have news to share with us about the rework. I'm gonna be real with you guys.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so yeah, a little bit of details. You get some like anniversary javelin skins if you log in until the 24th of March.
Would have been nice to have had that much sooner, but it's only been a year.
Yeah, the javelin skins are based on the javelin scene on the cover art of the game. So.
Oh, finally.
Yeah.
Wait.
Again, it took a year, but
22nd of February game was release date for Anthem, meaning our first anniversary past weekend.
Yeah.
1 whole year. It feels like both a lifetime ago and as though it went by in the blink of an eye. Whether you've been flying your javelin from the very start or you suited up along the way, we couldn't have gotten this far without you. You didn't get very far.
Didn't get very far.
that was the fun you actually got started.
And then, yeah, from here on out, we're going to be a bit quieter, though. During the post-Ice Tide period, we'll still be around, and we'll provide community quartetses, which is the name for the community updates, and the like when appropriate, but we're otherwise going to be heads down and working hard towards the future. They pretty much say it's like goodbye for a while.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's the joke that I said about going to the stores to pick up cigarettes. That's not coming back anytime soon.
Yeah, oh, Lord. Okay.
But maybe Anthem will actually come back this time.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Wait, have we got release notes for this
Not really.
update?
I don't think so.
Not really. It's
No.
like they added. It's like they took down the Christmas lights and added skins. It's not
Yeah,
a
that's
significant.
about it until the game gets rebooted.
It's not a significant update at all.
Excuse me.
Will you
I
guys
just wanna
log in
look
get
at
the
it
skins?
and see.
Will you guys
No,
log
I-
in to get the skins?
What do I?
No, I've cut
have
my
to play
loss
the game, don't I?
after a long
Play
while.
that game.
Subscribe to Origin Access, get access to the game once, and then get the skins, and then get out. No, okay.
Just changes.
It's not even worth the time. I feel like.
That would require me giving money to EA, and I kind of have a no money to EA rule in play right now.
Fair
That's
enough.
rude. You probably shouldn't do that, but
All right.
I got my money with Fallen Order, but
Yeah,
that's
so,
about it.
well, we'll see you back here on like episode 200 something when Anthem releases.
yeah,
I
we'll
don't know.
see. We'll see him here. He's got
we
his
will be
javelin
over the
helmet
wiser by
on.
that
He's
point.
flying around his apartment.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So that pretty much does it for that outside of F for Anthem. And then I got a couple of just tinier stories I wanted to touch on. This came from BBC, who interviewed Ryan Johnson, okay, who was the director of Star Wars Episode 8. And he said that Apple has really strict rules over who's allowed to use an iPhone in movies. And basically one of the rules that Johnson's run into before is a bad guy cannot have an iPhone on camera.
Sorry.
Why?
I feel like this is like mild spoilers, but yeah.
Yeah. So it's like if you ever watch
That's
like a
weird.
mystery movie, or maybe that's a James Bond movie, and like someone who you think is on the good side doesn't have an iPhone, there's a chance they might be the villain instead.
Yeah. I wish
They
he-
have a Microsoft branded phone. That's your first hint that they're the villain.
They have a
pulled out
freaking like
an-
Nokia.
Sony N-Gage.
Yeah.
They're in trouble. Well, it's not
Pulls
Sony
out a
N-Gage, it's
Sony.
Nokia.
Well, no,
Xperia.
it can't be Sony because if Sony's making the movie, they don't want to be associated with the bad guy either, probably.
True.
It's actually really funny. I was playing Yakuza 6, and the guy pulls out like a Sony, and my
that's amazing.
significant other was just like, "Did Sony make this game?" I'm like, "No, they just published it." She's like, "Huh." It's just,
They
it
threw
just has
money
a
at it.
Sony phone. Like I'm like, I don't think it came out to other platforms. So that's she's like, "Oh, okay."
Sony phones were popular in Japan too.
Yeah, that's true. But I was just, it was so funny because she's like, "Wait a minute, this
Huh.
seems weird. Why does he have a Sony phone?"
Yeah.
Hey, I'm sorry that in the world of Death Stranding, the only thing you could drink is Monster Energy drink, okay?
I have a beer. I got beer in my game.
Beer.
I got beer
in my
eventually in
game.
mine too.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I,
gee,
I
I'm
get,
just
I get
missing out then,
hammered
aren't I?
drunk before UPS delivering.
Yeah, he's like chucking those cans. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Anyway, and then
That
this,
sounds magical.
yeah, I don't know. I stand here as a proud Android user. So
Yeah. Anthony
So you're
also,
the bad
right?
guy.
yeah, yeah, I am the villain. Anthony and I are
I
actually.
have an iPhone, but
Okay. All right. Anyway, and then the last little story. You know how I don't know. We've been on Mixer for a while under some decently sound strategic reasoning, in my opinion. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
That's culture underscore
underscore gaming. It was what we could get. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well. Yeah. And we might be having to. I don't know what the lettering would be here.
Jump ship.
Yeah, jump ship, return, buy Twitch some flowers and say we want her back.
Groveling back.
Yeah, come
I
groveling
will
back.
hold the giant stereo above my head.
Yeah,
as
like
it
the
plays
gravel
like
that we
this.
are. Yeah, just play some Coldplay outside Twitch's bedroom window. The boombots across the shoulders.
And you don't get copyright stricken.
Yeah, this is coming from Windows Central, and this was on February 25th, 2020. Report. Morale among Microsoft's Mixer team is at an all-time low. This is after dropping a significant amount of cash on not only Ninja, but Shroud also. Today, a report from On Microsoft said that the employee morale at Microsoft's live streaming platform Mixer was hitting a significant low. Employees are concerned about the future of the service, and there are layoffs taking place there. There's also a video that shows a newly appointed Mixer head, Shilpa Yadia, making a rather harsh-sounding pitch to employees while discussing, quote, positivity, end quote, in the workplace culture. The clip is truncated, it may seem harsher when removed from the context of the full meeting, I guarantee you that's part of it, but it doesn't exactly paint Mitzer's leadership in a sympathetic light. The excerpt that illuminates the situation below is as follows. Mitzer has had a rough few months that involved the original founders leaving the business alongside a general manager and corporate vice president. However, what hasn't been reported is that over the last 6 months, there have been 16 layoffs due to budget cuts, which have shed roughly 25% of an already skeletal level team and are causing feature releases to slip schedules. That's according to a Mitzer employee who reached out to us, concerned about the direction and fate of Mitzer. During an internal Mitzer town hall last week, executives spoke to its skeleton crew of employees to address the growing sense of frustration and low morale within the business. Unfortunately, their words left a lot to be desired. Shilpa Yadia had been meeting with employees one-on-one, presumably to assuage fears and concerns, but on stage, her words may have had the adverse effect.
She doesn't sound too happy with Mixer, to be honest.
Are we gonna do this? Are we gonna give up?
I've watched like 20 seconds of the video, and her opening like remarks and whatever are very...
Yeah.
She sounds like she's tired of the whole thing already.
Yeah. Furthermore, Microsoft provided a statement to address the falling morale among the platform's streamers. We have heard the feedback from Mixer's community and our partners regarding areas where we must improve the service. We recognize that increasing video stability, better discovery capabilities, additional monetization opportunities, and broadening our marketing programs are critically important to our streamers, and we are focused on supporting their success. Our new head of Mixer, Shilpa Yadia, is committed to addressing these critical needs and in delivering an incredible experience for Mixer streamers and viewers. The entire Mixer team is working tirelessly behind the scenes on these and other new initiatives to help maintain our positive, welcoming culture as we continue to grow. We expect 2020 will be an exciting year for Mixer and our community. If it's indeed true that Mixer is faced with staffing issues and lower morale, only one thing can realistically fix it: investment. Microsoft has reportedly spent millions on key streamers like Ninja, but doesn't seem to have made a particularly large impact on the service thus far. If the reports about Mixer being built up of a small skeleton crew are right, without proper investment in its own staffing, we're not sure how Microsoft expects to catch up to Twitch and YouTube. Indeed, Microsoft has a history of underfunding promising projects, ultimately leading to them being shut down. Is Mixer doomed to join them? Really makes you
Let us know
thought.
what you think.
Yeah, really makes you thought.
I have something to add to this
Go
too.
for it.
So with PAX East happening at the moment,
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of tweets and a lot of like comments testifying to this fact. Mixer employees have been abusing Twitch streamers at PAX East.
Oh,
So they've
Okay.
been
Like
taking them.
Mixer employees or streamers?
Employees have been like verbally abusing them. That Twitch is this, that, and basically calling them trash for being Twitch streamers.
damn.
Weird.
Okay.
So that's a good.
It's not a good,
That's not a good sign.
That's
at all.
not a good look.
Not a good
Yeah,
look.
so step one, go ahead and fire the people immediately for sending a bad sign. But
Yeah.
So
I don't know. Yeah, this makes sense of the article. Like, hey, you spent all this one person. Like, why not invest in your company of making the product.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the time that took you to go ahead and get this one guy, you could have used that money to get like 50,000 others or whatever money could have been tossed that way to improve improve everything,
the UI, do whatever.
Right? Yeah, do whatever needs to be done, right?
Just help it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't feel like on Mixer, like, there's no real discoverability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be honest, like, there's no, like, rotating small streamer highlight week, whatever the heck Twitch does. And that's the thing, like, the past couple of times that we've been streaming, we've had, like, only, like, 1 or 2 viewers. And there's no way of, like, building up our viewer base, really.
Consistency and all that stuff, like normal. So.
Yeah, sure, but, like, it doesn't feel like there's kind of new people coming over and checking it out. Like, a couple of months ago, when we were streaming, there was, like, when you'd stream a Minecraft stream or even an Apex stream, you get new people come on by and subscribe, but that seems to have, like, gone down a lot, if that makes sense. Yeah, gone by the wayside. Sure. So, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff.
I mean, Twitch was like, it's like the big one, right? Like, it's always been the big one.
Yeah.
It's hard to throw in the big one. So.
Right, yeah.
You got a lot of work to do, right?
I don't know, should we re-jump ship?
Just do whatever, right? I mean, it also helps, like, Xbox One Series X comes. Hey, you can just stream with like a snap of your finger to Mixer. Like that could really help the platform improve. But like Anthony said, if discoverability is the issue,
right?
Yeah.
Or like, I don't know even if discoverability is the issue, but it's like, will you ever pull up Mixer before you pull up Twitch?
Right, exactly. And spoiler alert,
right?
no.
Like,
it's like. I know this seems super convenient, but this actually did happen and whatnot. It's like we were talking about, my friends and I, we were in the car last night. They were talking a little bit about, I forget how it came up exactly, but like Ninja and like Shroud were involved, and we're talking about the whole like Mixer thing, Twitch thing. And it's just like, oh yeah, Twitch didn't dump money into Shroud, like to have them exclusive on their platform and everything. Or whatever. And it's like I meant to say Mixer, but just the fact when I was trying to think of like streaming platform, automatically went to Twitch. It was just like kind of says a whole lot, Yeah.
And you just get big names doing it, like just without like Games Done Quick. They're on Twitch, and they get like some of the most viewers I think ever during the year, right?
How is Just Chatting having 100? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I was gonna say that that's fighting tournaments. They prefer the Twitch platform over Mixer too.
Yeah.
Well, it all comes out of contract. So you're gonna sign a contract, and you're long, right?
Well, I mean, technically, though, I guess that works both ways, considering that the Overwatch League isn't exactly streaming apparently on Twitch exclusively anymore. So
no, they're on YouTube now. So you can't even. So like, there are people jumping over to different stuffs now, to different platforms.
Yeah.
And it makes sense because now that Twitch isn't like, hey, we're the place. Like, hey, there's other places to explore, better deals to be had, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but the question now just becomes that, are those other places better than
that's
Twitch?
True.
Because, I was going to say that I did try out the Mixer streaming because, like I said at a previous time, I have been wanting to try to go into the streaming game. I just haven't been able to do much, even though I spent so much money on getting everything ready for it. But I have tried it out just streaming from the system itself, and it actually does look very nice. But, kind of at that same point, though, it's like, no one's going to know that I'm streaming unless if I somehow had a backing behind me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like there are a lot of trade-offs when considering like what platform to go on to, right? So it's like, okay, so on Mixer, it's like it has a lower user base, much lower user base, okay? Lower discoverability features and everything, as Anthony mentioned and everything. But on the other hand, on the technical side of things, Mixer is much better and everything. The stream latency is pretty much zero. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. It's like even the inherent delay is much lower than on Twitch. So that's a big part of it. It affords you a higher video bit rate. You can go up to 6,000 bit rate, which allows you to competently do 1080p 60 streams, which are nice. And the audio bit rate allows you to go to 160 kilobits per second on Mixer as opposed to 128, which that's on Twitch. So it's like,
but at a certain point, like, the technical specs don't even matter because how many people are good enough internet to even see that difference anymore.
Right, exactly. Most people, it's like you can make the argument that it's like on Twitch, just do 720p 60 anyway.
I'm pretty sure I watch most stuff on 720 60.
Yeah.
Just because like most I'm not paying full attention.
It's so much more of a strain to do 1080p 60 on the stream PC also.
Yeah.
Especially
so,
for a PC setup. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And that's the thing with like Mixer as well. Like I've noticed doing 720p 60, it's kind of blurry.
Okay.
Like I feel like it's not even hitting 720p. Weirdly, whereas when I was streaming on Twitch, like when we first came to Mixer, it seemed like their video quality and audio quality specifically was a lot better than Twitch.
Yeah.
But now it seems to like have gone down the plug hole. If that makes sense.
Okay.
Sure.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see
Yeah,
what
I don't know.
happens, but yeah,
Twitch should
hopefully Twitch will put some money, time, and investment in trying to improve the platform itself now, because yeah, you got some big names on the platform, but now you kind of need to get people another reason on top of everything else as to why they should be moving over to Mixer instead of Twitch.
Yeah.
But
I will
who knows
say
what's gonna happen though, honestly.
I will say Twitch still has that autoplay video with audio on the front page. Mixer has the autoplay video, but at least it's muted.
Yeah, there's a lot of muting going on, which is great.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
And it seems Mixer only like points out, I guess that's the right thing, points out partners.
Oh yeah,
So,
they have like a big
point
partner
out
spotlight.
non-partner.
Sure.
They don't shine the spotlight on non-partnered streamers.
Yeah.
So that's also a bit of a bummer.
I mean, that could be something that they could also try too, maybe, where it's like they could try to promote some of the mid-tier streamers, try to build them up, and then it's like as soon as they start to get bigger, Mixer could turn around and be like, so hey, we kind of helped you out by promoting you. Do you want to be a partner with us now? Or
Right, exactly.
Who knows how that's going to play out.
Sure.
But yeah, Mixer definitely just needs to get more not higher tier streamers, but it's like
They need
build up what they
better
have right
community
now.
involvement.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Like
that's
Mixer, it doesn't even feel like Mixer has a community, to be honest.
Oof.
Ooh, careful there.
Spice.
Yeah, let's not try to get ourselves
I
banned
mean,
while we're on the platform here.
Mixer has the best community on all the streaming.
Hail Mixer!
no, but it's like
well,
they
he just
don't.
went the complete opposite.
They don't have.
We've gotten. I feel like we've gotten more troll comments on Mixer than we have on Twitch.
Oh, I don't know.
At least we're getting some kind of interaction. Even if
There's
it's negative.
I don't know. I'd rather have people not say anything and then try to bait me into saying something horrible.
Yeah,
So,
really.
Yeah.
To be honest. So. Yeah, we'll see. I wonder how old is Mixer? Date?
5 years.
Okay, so
Unfortunate.
thinking about like a startup, 5 years. Yeah, now's
That's-
about the time it's got to start, kicking into gear.
Tapering off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe the Series X may go ahead to be that thing that kicks it into next year, but who knows?
The
Possible.
Xbox One was supposed to be the big thing that was going to kick.
It has
Mixer.
it too, also though. That's the thing.
What do you mean?
It has like the Xbox One has
Oh, yeah,
Mixer functionality built
It's got
in too.
Twitch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And Twitch functionality as well. All you got to do is download an app and it works right away. Same with PS4.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, why would you stream on Mixer on your console instead of the PS4?
Yeah.
Instead of Twitch.
Did they get rid of the Twitch integration on Xbox
No.
One X? No. Oh, okay.
Still there.
That'd probably be a bad view on Microsoft if they were to have deleted that ability to do that. I would imagine.
I guess.
And-
I just wasn't sure.
What I mean by no community, I mean there's no like events like TwitchCon. Your whole bit functionality of Mixer as well is a little as well. Like with Twitch, you got what are they called? Bits. Yeah. So with Mixer it's Sparks, with Twitch it's bits. The Sparks you can transfer. Bits you can transfer to money. With Mixer, your Sparks do nothing.
Yeah. Well, bits.
So they don't give you anything.
Well, I mean, the best they do is go ahead and shoot a fancy animation in your thing, so to speak. But I mean, technically, it's kind of hard to say how people could monetize Mixer, so to speak, in regards to that, because
Yeah, like,
subscriptions and all that stuff. So
I mean, yeah, but it's like, for Twitch, it seems like it gives you more availability. So to
Twitch
speak.
Prime, all that kind of
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, Twitch
Yeah.
is backed by Amazon, right? So they've got just a gigantic
So-
amount of people there.
Your monetization model on Mixer is a little lacking as well.
Okay.
Like
They
we
didn't
can't,
in the article.
we can't even accept Embers, which are your current, like your
Yeah.
monetization currency, unless we're partnered.
Yeah. Right.
Like we can
The
only
only way
accept.
we could get partnered is if we got more people watching us.
Yeah.
So we're kind of stuck in an ironic situation.
It happens, and that's part of the grind of like the stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you have to figure it out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
have it
yeah.
to work
You got to crawl before you could run, as it were.
Mhm.
or walk. Maybe you walk first.
Maybe.
Hey, some people just want to hit the ground running,
Yeah, really.
This is
Yeah.
true.
I'll just say as well, just to clarify, I'm not like bitching about Mixer. And, like,
Really?
Well, no, none
Trying
of
to-
us are.
trying to say that Mixer's crap or etc. I'm just saying that they need to like change their monetization model a little bit, make it so then smaller streamers can get spotlighted as well, because that would be really nice. Like if smaller people can, because your smaller streamers are your crux. They're your they're what build your platform really. Like
Mhm.
everybody starts small. That's how you build a community. Your bigger streamers, yes, they help, but at the end of the day, your smaller streamers are what brings in your profit because there's thousands of them.
Sure.
So you really need to work with streamers.
Totally.
Yeah, well, and that's kind of what we're talking about here as a
Yeah.
whole. That we're not complaining about Mixer because it's the in thing to do. We do want to see this platform go ahead and grow into something much bigger.
Heck yeah.
Who knows if it's going to grow into Twitch numbers, of course, but it's like we do want to see some growth in it rather than it's remain in the standstill where it seems like it's more important to go ahead and satisfy Ninja than to go ahead and satisfy everyone else.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to switch back to Twitch to be honest, but it might be the best the best decision to make to grow.
Sure.
At the end of the day.
Yeah,
Experiment
please
around
give us
with it,
a
I guess. I
reason
don't
why
know.
we need to stay here, Mixer. Besides, we'll ban you if you don't. But
I don't think that's. would be a
please,
good
we want
look
to work
either.
with you guys. Please.
Who wants a Twitch security code?
I do.
Let's do it.
I'm logging into the lawn dormant thing just to see what's
Oh,
going
no.
on. Yeah.
Enhance.
Oh,
I think
Enhance.
I lapsed my subscription for the first time in like 10 months.
Yeah.
wait, how do I
Just
get it back?
send it to me on Discord real quick.
Yeah.
I will not show it on stream. Don't worry. I'll just pull it up.
Mixer, hopefully doing stuff soon.
Maybe
Not-
right the ship, right?
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
It's in the
We'll see what
dock.
happens
Oh, okay. Thank you.
with that.
Yes.
Okay. Enhance.
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 Enhance all of the images.
Yeah. Oh, hello. How are you? Yeah. It's
Yes. Salute to you too, you man.
all right. Yeah, I think that's just gonna wait for Andrew to dip out before doing the outro here.
I mean, we could do something else while we wait for him to come back, right,
Yeah.
Anthony?
Oh yeah, that's right. What games are releasing, fam?
4.
Woo!
Massive numbers this week.
Woo!
Hell yeah!
Heck yeah! So
Let's do
on today, actually, Knights of Light, the prologue Steam Early Access, obviously going to PC on February 29th. Then 4 in March, which is March the 1st for me currently. Curse of the Dead Gods is coming to PC Steam Early Access on March the 3rd. The Division 2 Warlords of New York expansion is coming to PC, PS4, and Xbox One on March
Oh yeah,
3rd
that's
as well.
a good one.
Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX Switch on March 6th. And Yes, Your Grace is going to PC on March
What is that?
6th as well. I have no clue. But that's it. And then next week, we have Ori and the Will of the Wisp.
Really? Already?
Oh yeah.
Finally.
Keen for that to come out.
Finally.
Unless it gets delayed.
Nope.
So
We're not jinxing it here.
that's it for this week.
It's not Final Fantasy VII Remake.
What
Is that really
this?
it? Okay. That feels.
Yeah, that's it.
That
So,
feels.
really fast, before we wrap it up, since we are now finally in the month of March, coming up here pretty quick, because, yeah, today's a leap year. Happy birthday. But, are any games coming out in March that you guys are looking forward to?
What games are coming out in March though?
Doom Eternal. That game's coming
Ori
out.
and the Will of the Wisps.
Okay.
Animal Crossing New Horizons, the Half-Life Alyx.
Oh yeah, Doom. Okay, Doom Eternal and both
Bleeding
in March.
Edge,
Got it.
Persona 5.
Animal
Memorial.
Crossing. The most evil game in the universe.
Truly.
Yep.
Doom Eternal. Saints Row 4 apparently. is
Doom
Twitch.
64. You want to play Doom 64, don't you?
Probably not.
Oh, why
That's
not?
it.
That's
Persona 5 Royale is going to be PS4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
all the games.
we are now finally in that time of the year right now where we are finally at the top of the hill, and now it's going to start dive bombing right on us.
Perfect.
So many games coming out in March, and then so many more games in April, and then don't know what's coming out in May, but I'm sure that's going to be nice too.
We're getting there.
Yep.
We are.
So put your
getting
hands up in the air. We're starting to go down the slope now.
there. Yeah.
Oh, I mentioned Neo 2 earlier. That game
Yes.
in March as well.
Last of Us Part 2 is going to be in May.
Oh yeah, The Last of Us. That's right.
Right.
I forgot about that one.
Oh yeah. Let's
Last of Us Part
And I'm not even
Oh.
looking. I'm not even planning on picking that one up since I need to get my PlayStation 4 dusted off.
Doom is coming.
Yes. Doom is coming.
Doom is coming for us
Excited
all.
for Doom.
looms. Doom looms.
The Doom
So many
looms.
Dooms, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm super excited for Doom.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So I think that'll about wrap up the podcast then. Dark Lord Shake, thank you for following. Mike, where can the good people find you on Twitter?
If you wish to go ahead and follow me for whatever reason, but I would say please, you could be able to follow me at MAS8705. I would go ahead to talk about any fancy what have yous in the gaming world, alongside with responding to any fancy people who write something interesting. But yep, I'm there if you want to follow me over there.
Okay. Andrew, how about yourself?
Yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter, Instagram at Duronsky, DRONSKI. Lots of fun posts. Not that many but fun posts, hopefully.
All right.
Beer, video games, all that good stuff.
What more would you want out of a Twitter
Don't
account?
need
Honestly.
much more than that.
Yeah. It's not the old school students. Okay. Anthony, how about you?
I don't tweet at all.
No, you do
but
not.
I'm at SameOutman19. You can follow me if you so choose. I do media.
Mhm.
So the Twitter, the Facebook, all that fun stuff. So if you're wanting to get in contact with me, you can do so through those avenues.
Okay. Awesome. You can find me at Infurious7809 on Twitter. That is at INFERIUS7809 on Twitter. All sorts of things: video games, anime, movies, memes. What more? Yeah.
What more do you want?
Yeah, what more do you want? It's all sorts of things. So anyway, thank you all so much for tuning in. We will be back next week, probably still on Mixer, I assume. Same time, same channel. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Have a good week, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Take care.